What are you guys called?
Okay,
Josh.
we are live. At least I think we're live. Been having technical difficulties. Launched the broadcast and
Let me ask you,
it
you are
didn't
not part of
it
BLM, are you?
it did not work out so well. But
No, no,
let's see if the second try works. Trying on a different phone now. Who is tuned in? If you're tuned in, can you please let me know whether you can hear me and see me all right? Not that I want you to see me. Let's flip the camera around. Now you can see the action, and hopefully I get some confirmation that you can see and hear all right. I'm on a different phone now, so hopefully that resolves the connection issues. My phone overheated and was having connection issues, but let's just put that all aside. We are in Tujunga on Foothill Boulevard by Lowell Avenue in the city of Los Angeles, but just barely the northeast part of LA in the Crescenta Valley, where we have supporters of President Donald Trump gathered on one side of the street, and apparently no counter protesters gathered on the other side of the street, as there was last week and as was detailed by a man I was just interviewing. LAPD officers here in riot gear nonetheless. And let's see if we can go continue that interview, especially for those of you who weren't tuned in when I was interviewing the man who was watch out, who was describing what was happening last week. Let's go back to him as I wind my way around the crowd through the parking lot here. Oh, I thought I could get out there. Apparently not. Here's a driveway.
How they do it?
A little humor here from bystanders. Actually, I don't know if he is a bystander. And we're back, and let's see if we can redo that interview. Sir. Sir. This way, this way. I'm back with a better connection. You want to let everyone know who's tuned in what happened last week and what brings you out here today?
Sure. What I know of last week was there was a lot of Black Lives Matter, Antifa across the street last week. Right, they were coming out to the police cars that were patrolling in the middle. They were getting mighty pushy on the police, getting pushy. They mixed it up at the other end, and we're all here because we love our country, because we're patriots, and we're against Black Lives Matter and Antifa because they're communist organizations. The heads are actually Marxists, and to keep communism out of the United States is a good thing. No socialism. Socialism eventually leads to communism. So we don't need that in the United States. We need our freedom to live, survive, and we don't need oppression like comes with socialism or communism. So I'm running out of voice here. So
it's all right. There are other people I think we could talk to.
Yeah.
And
I'm a patriot. I want what's best for the country. I want what's best for my kids and their grandkids. I got a grandchild. I want what's best for him. And communism, socialism is not what's best for him. Freedom, capitalism is done good for 240 years, and it'll do good for another 240. So praise the Lord, amen. Turn out the lights. This party's over.
all right, thank you. Let's see if anyone else wants to come on, but first, here's Annabelle.
Hi, yeah, I just talked to two people and they thought that we were connected to Antifa or BLM, and I made it straight that, we are reporters out here, and maybe they want to explain what happened to them, because they told me that BLM surrounded their house So let's find
are
them.
they're down this way?
Yes.
Do you have my phone, by the way?
Yes.
All right. Sounds good. So we're walking on Foothill Boulevard, right along the police line.
The other two by the neck, ran them out the door.
You can see a Gadsden flag, Trump flag. Officers out here in riot gear, but at least
Come out again, so it's not bad.
for now, no counter-protester presence. But we can get more of a description about what happened last week involving counter-protesters and the police.
The result,
Is anybody here interested? We are on a live stream to express what brought you out here today. No?
All right, I don't.
we are supporting Trump and our police officers.
Sir, do you want to come on camera or no?
Let me put my mask on before I come.
Okay.
Because I'm worried about those guys. I don't want them to know me.
All right, it looks like
Against what?
one of the men that Annabelle's speaking with is gonna come on right now.
No, but you want to make people of this uncomfortable.
Yes.
I feel kind of comfortable because I watch your videos. I've been following
Do you want to come on?
I'll come on for a few
All right.
minutes. You ask me questions, whatever you want to ask me.
All right. So
If
what?
we are on the driveway, we can send
Yeah,
it.
yeah, let's stand-
the,
let's-
the cops will actually
let's-
tell us go home if we do that.
Let's stand right here. All right. What brings you out to the rally today?
As you can see, all the flags, we are here supporting our country, our dear President Trump, to win against the communism. Because on the other side, there's not that many. They're fighting. They want to bring this country down. They're burning our flag. They don't respect us. Trump is the only president that is going to save us, get us out of this mess. Not only is going to save us, he's going to save the whole world. That is what I believe in. That's why we are fighting for him.
How so? When you say save the world, how so?
He's going to save us from, if you have heard about deep state, the corruption, the child trafficking, which is happening all over the world, as you know. These are a few things. That's all I can say for now. I don't want to be on the camera for too long, by the way.
Understandable.
It's a long discussion, but most people are waking up. They know what is going on.
What about here locally? Any issues that the crowd here is concerned about?
The issues people here are only concerned when BLM shows up and tries to actually agitate them and create some chaos, which has happened for the last couple of weeks. But luckily, they were told not to show up this week. We are here peacefully demonstrating for Trump. That's all we are doing. We want Trump for another 4 more terms, not 4 more years.
4 more terms?
Yes.
But that would involve a constitutional amendment,
His
right?
legacy will continue 4 more terms, if you understand. what I
Oh,
mean.
so maybe Ivanka, maybe Junior,
Whoever
maybe,
can
all right.
continue his honesty and bring all the evil and fake news and all that bad stuff down. Because we want to hear reality. We are tired of listening to fake news.
All right.
He has drained the swamp and he needs another 4 years to drain it. It's very deep and wide. It's not easy. It's not something you can do overnight. So we need 4 more years of him and then 4 more terms of him, actually. We need 16 years.
Anything else you'd like to add?
That's all. Thank you very much. And please keep the news exactly the way it is. Do not twist it like the fake news.
Well, we're live on
Very good.
on YouTube. This
Very
is
good.
raw, unedited.
Very
so
good.
It's kinda,
Thank you. Thank
kind of
you.
hard to twist this.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good one.
You too.
We
A
don't
look at
trust
some of the signs. We've got recall. Sorry, it's really bright here. Recall Newsom sign here. I've seen multiple recall Newsom sign. Yeah, this is another recall Newsom sign. Newsom being California Governor Gavin Newsom, veteran for Trump. We support the police. Defend, not defund LAPD. As you can see, police officers in riot gear right beside us, out a little bit into the street, with demonstrators mostly on the sidewalk and slightly into the street. as well on Foothill Boulevard here in Tujunga. See if anyone else would like to come on the broadcast. Oh, I got a question about numbers. Do you have an estimate for how many people are out here part of the rally? I'd say maybe 100. This is a really bad angle. We've got tents and cars blocking, so it's hard to give you a full crowd shot, but we can walk up and down as we try to speak with more people.
Hey brother, I'm sorry I came down on you. It's just I don't know who's who anymore. I've given a few interviews and all of a sudden it ends up that I'm this and I'm that, or they Photoshop me and this and that, so I don't know who to believe in.
I understand you.
Yeah.
I mean, my only point I'd make though is that the First Amendment.
Yeah,
goes
no, I
for
know.
everyone.
I'm familiar with that, but when they come over and act like they're going to enter the honor, then all of a sudden your face gets on there and your house gets graffitied, you know. That's the thing. So, you know, I don't know who you are. He says you're a good guy, so I believe you. So just stay safe.
Well, do you want to pop on for an interview?
Huh?
You want to pop on for an interview?
Well, if you tell me where you're from and you're honest.
Yeah, my name's Josh Friedman. I'm a Los Angeles native,
Okay.
although I'm usually internationally traveling around the world, and I'm a reporter. That's what I do. I write for Calcos News in California, and I write for other publications and
Yeah, sure.
other
I'll give you
places.
some.
All right, so let's see.
You can sit with me.
We're live on YouTube.
Should be on TV, AJ? Okay.
Okay, so what brings you out to the
Well, I
Trump
stopped
rally
by
today?
here when there were about 8 or 10 people here, about 6, 8, 9 months ago, and they had American flags, Trump stuff, minding their own business, and all of a sudden, one day there were 7, 8 people across the street, and it turned to 25 or 30. Then it was F Trump, smash Republicans, pastors, white supremacists, on and on and on. I'm far from a white supremacist. I'm half Spanish, half English. My parents came over here in the 50s. I have an African-American sister-in-law. I grew up with every diverse group you can imagine. I'm the farthest thing from a racist.
Maybe we could start playing music. Maybe we could step
and
over.
it's really insulting to me. Do white supremacists exist? I'm sure they do. I'm sure they're in all kinds of races. There's bad people. But when you don't even know anything about anybody and to start targeting them, I'm targeted now as a white supremacist. For what? I've done nothing at all to target, but just because my picture is here when I come here. You know, we're more diverse here. If you take your camera, look around, you can see we're more diverse here than they are across the street.
Was it a span of weeks in which it went from just a handful of people out here to actual
Yeah, I would say
clashes?
it started with about 8 or 9 people, and then it turned into 140, 150, and then their numbers increased. There's a couple of people up here in town that have put our names out here, and actually have incited bad elements to come up here and start problems. Actually, one of her posters, I'm not going to mention her name, but actually on her site, she says we need as many Nazi hunters up here as possible. That was last Friday. Last Friday was probably the worst day up here ever.
Would you mind if we step over to that side of the driveway? Okay, what happened last Friday?
They came, first of all, there were tons of people on that side. Then all of a sudden, here comes a bunch of Antifa, BLM, I don't know what, marching down this way with weapons hanging out of their cars. Came to the middle of the street and then started to come over at us. And our guys, I'm not going to say our guys are 100% innocent. You can get bad all the time, but almost a fight ensued. And then it ended up further on down that way. They kept coming over and coming over. Next thing you know, they started fighting with the cops. All of a sudden, you got 175 cops here. They're assaulting the cops, throwing smoke bombs over this way, throwing rocks the size of softballs. There's pictures of them being airborne coming at us. Smoke bombs, who knows what. So anyway, I guess we were told to leave and we left. They stayed there and duked it out with LAPD. So that's where it's going right now.
Any thoughts on what happens from here on out here in Tujunga, Crescenta Valley?
Well, I don't
area?
know. I'm just one of how many thousands of people up here? You know, people stop by here all the time, so I don't know what the plans are for everyone. But keep in mind, all these people are all Americans of all colors, creeds, and whatever you want to be. This is my good friend.
These are all good. These are good people.
Yeah, I know. That's why you said they're okay. So
These are good people.
But you know, we're all good people too. We're not looking for a problem. It just seems like this socialist, crazy left wants to take over the country, and that's not at all what America wants. We don't want a socialist country. They don't work. You can't have a country run by the government. The government gets their hands on anything and they ruin it. That's about it. I've worked all my life, 40, 50 years in construction. I don't have a heck of a lot of money, but I've always worked for what I've got, and I've always respected the best I can. You know, as a kid, did I get in trouble with the cops? You bet I did. I thought I could outrun a cop on my motorcycle until my carburetors fell off. And he caught me, and he took his billy club and gave me quite a few whacks. And I knew not to move as I was getting whacked. So, you know, basically, you know, you don't listen to the police. They're worried about their life too. So are they all good? Hell no. There's some bad cops. Bad cops shouldn't be out there. But that's up to the Democratic run cities or Republican to get rid of him. If you've got a bad cop, why is he in your department? Why are the inner cities in such turmoil? What about black baby lives? What about all the inner city family lives? 3,000 blacks die a year. You know, what's going on with that? That's okay. You know, it's just that I see what happened to George Floyd. And yeah, there should be justice. That was dead wrong. But God, what about Officer Dorn that died in a pool of blood? You know, I mean, I listened to the debate last night. The Republican debate. His wife put me in tears. The poor guy didn't deserve to die like that. So the whole world's upside down right now. At least this is. Hopefully this election will be over with, and that's it. Whoever wins, that's who we got to live with. That's about all I got to say.
All right, thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you. What's that going to be on so I can see it?
On my YouTube channel, Josh Friedman, JoshFriedman. My YouTube channel is my name.
Oh, Josh Friedman.
You just type in Josh Friedman. It's not very hard to find. Yeah, thank you. Outside In-N-Out, of all places. Here we are along Foothill Boulevard in Tujunga. I apologize if the audio on that wasn't so great. I didn't see many comments about that, but I presume given the background noise, street noise, music, mask, etc. I don't know how well he could be understood, but hopefully well enough. We've now heard from a couple people about what happened last week. If I could venture over to the other side and get comment from counter-protesters, that would be nice, or at the very least journalistic, but it does not look like we have any counter-protesters across the street. We have someone on a megaphone across the street beside a free food table. We also have someone with an American flag across the street, and it looks like a couple signs from the pro-Trump crowd. Meanwhile, in the street, other than Annabelle, we have LAPD officers in riot gear and a handful of demonstrators. Let's see if anyone... Would you like to come on camera?
No!
Okay. Well, your sign will, I guess. Say no to Sleepy Joe. Anyone like to do an interview? No problem.
We're here for our president of our country. My gentleman.
All right, they say they're here for their president and the country.
Welcome.
Glad to see you're there supporting us.
Absolutely.
There are multiple recall Gavin Newsom signs. To try to give you a better picture, here's one of them. Actually, here are two of them. To try to give you a better picture of the crowd, which it's not so easy to do because of the tent setup and whatnot. But and the glare. We've got in front of this shopping center, in front of this Big Five Sporting Goods, we have 1, 2, 3 tents set up as part of the rally, and demonstrators about 40 feet or so beyond this tent right here. Annabelle estimated about 100 people here. It's hard for me to tell, but that might be about right. Does not appear to be anywhere near as crazy as last week. And if protesters don't show up, I presume it won't become anything like it was last week. But I don't know. Will or will not they come? Women for Trump sign. Good to see you back.
Yeah.
You guys stay out of the driveway.
Will you be in Beverly Hills tomorrow?
Edwin, you guys stay out of the driveway.
Oh.
You want to? I've got a live stream going on YouTube. You want to pop on for a quick interview?
For what exactly?
It's on my YouTube channel. My name is Josh Friedman, and that's my YouTube channel as well.
Okay.
What's your name?
Josh Friedman.
And I could look that
JOS.
up with you.
Shalom.
Yep, it's very easy.
Shalom, right?
You
Jewish,
you
right?
speak Hebrew?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I know somebody. I know a person who's got a last name Freeman, and he's Jewish.
I've got the last name. I've got the nose. I've got it all.
So you're Jewish?
Of course.
Okay.
Sorry.
for-
What were
we're
you?
for
What were
Israel.
you
We
saying?
support Israel.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm out here as a journalist, so I'm not really here for Israel, against Israel, or what. No problem though.
There's a lot of communists in Israel.
What was that?
There's a lot of communists in Israel.
I don't know if I'd call them communists, but the left is pretty strong in numbers in Israel. I don't know. The man we were about to interview. And speaking of Israel, I think I saw a Jews for Trump sign or something like that around here. Do you have a Sleepy Joe sign? Sir, would you like to do a quick interview?
Oh, I'm not good.
All right, no problem. No problem. Let's see. Some thin blue line flags. If you go on to Twitter and search Tujunga, I don't know, but that might cue you in as to whether or not there's going to be another crowd showing up here. Maybe not. I don't have an answer as to whether or not counter protesters are coming, but it looks like there still are none. And from what I understand from talking to people and from watching some footage from last week, it appears that LAPD officers were involved in clashes with counter protesters here last week, and during those clashes, I believe there were some sort of projectiles fired, maybe rubber bullets, I'm not sure. And maybe some of the counter protesters were hit. I think there's footage of that, but I'd have to double check. Officer, is there a supervising officer here?
You need something?
Yeah, my name's Josh Friedman. I'm with Calcos News, and I was just wondering if I could get comment from a supervising officer. Are you a supervisor? Oh.
Yeah, but I can't give you comment. Let me ask you.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's see if we can get...
Where are you from?
Right now I'm live on my YouTube channel, but I write for Calcos News, and my reporting is on Calcos News.
Like a radio, TV, or YouTube?
I'm right now on my YouTube channel, but I write for an online newspaper called Calcoast News, and I use footage from the protests for my reporting there.
Okay, good.
With the new age and the internet, we need to multitask in our line of work.
Yeah, we're not available right now to give any type of comments because it's a liquid operation.
Okay,
Apologize.
that's all right. Thank you. All right, no comment from the lieutenant who's apparently here. Let's see, where did that... Annabelle, where's the guy you were just talking to? I... Yeah, there's a bright... What? As you can see, the officers have a line established on Foothill, but they're basically, at the moment, protecting Trump supporters from other Trump supporters. I say that
I said
slightly
he was buying a t-shirt, but
kidding.
now he disappeared.
It's all right. We'll maybe find someone else to talk with. Let's see. Defend, not defund, back the blue, and recall Newsom sign here. Sir, would you like to pop on a live stream for a quick interview? All right. My name's Josh Friedman. I'm live on my YouTube channel, and I also write for Calcoast News.
And that is
It's an online investigative news publication.
what are you investigating?
It's based in San Luis Obispo County, so most of it has to do with government corruption in San Luis Obispo County, but also at times elsewhere in the state.
You want to know where I think there's most corruption?
Sure.
At the LA City Sheriff's Department. I believe Alex Villanueva has been compromised. I feel that his changing 49 felonies to misdemeanors has allowed him to empty out our jails. We had before February or before COVID, 17,600 inmates. And for 170 positives and no deaths, he got rid of 4,300 of them, and now we have 11,800 in our jails. I feel that's being compromised. It's not in the best interest of the civilians who he's supposed to represent. I feel he's treasonous in his actions. Also, I feel that the new law that the Civilian Oversight Committee has put together, which attacks the impunity law for the cops, which means they have to be responsible for their own actions, whereas now the state or California accepts their liability if they do something wrong. After all, we do send them out into a situation where they might be in trouble or have to make the wrong decision, and then they get sued, and then the city picks up the tab. The impunity law changes that. Karen Bass instigated legislation in our Sacramento office to include removing the impunity clause for the sheriffs and for the police, and that is outrageous. Karen Bass ought to be held for treason for doing that as well. Mr. Bonner, who's on the commission for the Civilian Oversight Committee, has put up 17 clauses, all bad. Kevin DeLeon, who instigated SB 54, is the man who's responsible for this SB 54, which causes the non-repatriating of criminals. When you're a criminal and you're civilian, you come back out onto the streets. But when you're a criminal and you're illegal, you need to be repatriated. That's not happening anymore. You can thank Alex Villanueva, you can thank Kevin DeLeon, you can thank the Civilian Oversight Commission for LA Sheriffs for their implementation of this and ushering in of SB 54. Now, the new law that Alex Villanueva is putting it together is saying that he will no longer honor transfers to our ICE agents. That means that even the most hardened criminals, the ones who kill people, are now not being taken to ICE for repatriation. So I just thought I'd let you know what's up.
focus in on Villanueva, for instance. Do you think his hands are tied because of SB 54?
This is a
or do you think
progressive
or do you think that it's his responsibility to disobey SB 54?
SB 54 was the beginning, and he just took it further. He ushered in SB 54 February 2nd when he started when he kicked ICE out of our jail system. ICE used to have an office in our jails. When the criminal was done with his time to be repatriated, they would just automatically turn him over to the ICE agents in the jail. The ICE agents have been taken out of the jail. All communication between the sheriffs and ICE have been canceled because of Alex Villanueva.
Or was it? Maybe I'm forgetting it. It's been a few months, but didn't SB 54 create those regulations where the sheriff isn't allowed to cooperate with ICE on the detainers?
No. It had a basic understanding that the most serious of offenders were going to be repatriated. We have stepped over that boundary of SB 54, and now we do not repatriate even the hardest of criminals. They come onto your streets, and it's all Alex Villanueva's fault. And we all need to get involved by calling and getting involved and making a comment on the Civilian Oversight Committee's website. You can make a comment from your bathroom if you want, and do it from your computer. But make a comment, because if you sat there and listened to all the comments, all you would hear is the other side. You never hear a patriot's comment or a civilian who might be interested in their own safety, because your safety is being taken away from you by Alex Villanueva, SB 54, and their inability to protect citizens.
What? Your sign says support. We support law enforcement.
That's correct. I do.
How would you explain that? Law enforcement who does their jobs, or what? Because you're not so supportive of Villanueva,
Okay.
for instance.
Well, I support law enforcement. I applaud their last 10 years of black men who are killed, who are unarmed. The last 10 years, it's been 137, or approximately 13 a year. Last year was 14. So for 14 people in a 40 million amount of people who are black in this country, 14, I applaud that record, because that's across the entire United States. Imagine, only 14. A lot of people don't even know that it's only 14. And of course, any of them are bad. But out of that 14, 12 of them had law enforcement interactions before and were criminals. And the other two, they become millionaires if there's body-worn cameras to see it all happen. And that's what we have now. We've had a body-worn cameras that's been instigated, and the city, look, they're all wearing them, and they will also see what's going on for you, and they'll tell a story all by themselves, just like everywhere else. But I'm saying that I applaud my police's record. I think that record is outstanding. Just imagine, 40 million blacks in this country, 14 a year, and it's been 14 a year for the last 10 years. Any more questions?
Sure. It's for the most part, from what I understand, a pro-Trump rally, but also we've got Gavin Newsom, recall Gavin Newsom, and some local issues. What, generally speaking, is the crowd more interested in Trump, more interested in local issues, a combination of things?
I think it's an issue on safety. I think in order to be safe, you must have the rule of law. The rule of law involves the police. I'm 67. I've never had any run-ins with the police other than a ticket. And although I did go to a rally and I was handcuffed, but it was a rally because the people there were being helped with Eric Garcetti's money to pay the ACLU lawyers for criminals to expunge their records. So I went to that rally, and because we couldn't get into where the illegal aliens were, I was handcuffed for like 30 minutes. But I applaud the police for not, but in that position, I didn't think it was right. But again, I applaud the police for their record. I applaud each and every hero. They're all heroes to me. And as far as a few bad ones, well, they get over. There's a program called POST that the LA City has to go through to become a policeman, and they also go through a psych treatment, which they try and ask them, you know, or examine them for mental capabilities. They need to be good conversationalists. They have to be able to defuse the situation because you know they come under hard situations. They're part of their qualities or qualifications involve being able to defuse any situation. So they're heroes to me, and what they have to go to become a cop and to become a sheriff, it's something that most people just wouldn't go jump through hoops, and they don't make it a lot of the time. And we weed these people out early.
All right. Thank you very much. Again, it's a Josh Friedman YouTube channel if you want to find
Josh
it.
Friedman.
Yeah,
Okay,
Josh Friedman.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Speaking of LAPD officers and the aforementioned body cams, there, I believe that's one. I don't know how well you guys could hear that. I'm sorry. Not the ideal audio setup here, but hopefully you can hear them all right. Some apparel, it looks like. CNN. The media is, I can't read what the rest of that says. But yeah, we've got Trump flag, or excuse me. No, I think we do have a Trump flag also. American flags, thin blue line flags. Looks like a Trump flag or two. Eric Early for Congress. I guess he's running against Adam Schiff. I was confusing him earlier with someone else. We have a Gadsden flag, an All Lives Matter flag. Hi officer. Back the blue. Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Gadsden flag, All Lives Matter. I'm live on YouTube.
I don't care.
Would you like to pop on for an interview?
Hell no.
Okay.
It's fine. Are you guys left or right?
We're not left. We're not right. I know that seems impossible to believe, but
No, it's not impossible right now.
I'm a journalist.
Oh, that's fine.
That's
So
what I
you guys
do.
are- it's like
My name's Josh Friedman.
Someone stuck in the middle?
I don't view it as the middle. I do have my personal views,
Right.
which
This is your lady?
she's someone helping me out.
She looks cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Josh, she's fine. So you guys can walk up and down. Did you guys come out here this weekend?
Yes.
Or this week?
I wanted to make it last week, but I couldn't make it in time.
Oh, you fucked up.
I did fuck up.
Yeah. Last week was really good.
You want to explain on camera what happened last week?
No, because this is our first time coming up here right now. It's like I own a shop right here in Boston, this is Lowell. Next street down is Boston, and then it's starting to get really, really crazy. So I showed up. As soon as you want to start throwing, as soon as any of the Antifa people want to start throwing stuff at my boys right here, look, I've already tried to be a police officer. I couldn't because they said my dad had a bad drug record, which was we have the same last name, so I'm sure they reflected all off on us. But as soon as you want to start throwing things at these guys right here, I'm gonna back these guys all day long. Tell you what, 100%. So that's what it is. So that's where I came out here tonight, finally, after the last week and a half or month and a half of this shit going down. We don't want the protests. Like, if you guys want to go ahead and protest peacefully, go ahead all day long. Bring as many people as you guys want out to protest peacefully. Totally fine. But don't get any of the anarchy people out here to do any of the bullshit, because we're going to stop them immediately. They're going to get stopped really fast. They want to throw a rock at this dude right here. Look, this guy just right here, I told him, do you have a family? He said yes. Okay. I got 2 4-year-olds that I want to go home to. Okay. And he's got kids himself he wants to go home to tonight. Okay. I don't want to have a rock throw him at me because look, you're going to mess up his pretty face. Fuck no. Not at all. He's got a pretty face. So do I. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you guys want to throw a rock at his fucking face, I'm going to go and clothesline the first dude that does that. I'm not going to shoot at him like a fucking idiot. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to fucking knock these fools out. So if they want to show up in an hour and a half like they usually do, they want to come late, they want to come from Arizona, they want to come from different states, this, that, the other, it's all good. But I'm telling you right now, like, anybody that comes here from this whole point on, these guys will back us, but in the same sense too, we're going to catch these idiots for these guys a simple way. I got 4 guys. They're over there right now. A really simple way. So if they can't catch them, they want to shoot with bing bags because you shouldn't been here right. You shouldn't be here right now. Okay, because you want to do anarchy bullshit. Just saying. It's very simple, Josh.
You haven't seen any agitators or anarchists out here today?
Not today. Not tonight. They will come. They will come. They come late because you know why? Anything happens after dark. It does. It really happens after dark. They will show up in the right here, the PetSmart. Very quick. You can take a picture of that. It's a Harbor Freight. They're gonna come here in a big truck. They're all gonna park out there. They're gonna walk down here. They're gonna rally. They're gonna do all this bullshit, and then they're gonna think that they're gonna prove something, but they're not tonight. Not even close. This little community, it's a Hunga Sunland community, that far away from Locker Center, where they got Glendale PD up here too. Even locking out of sheriffs. They can come and do whatever they want tonight. They're gonna get knocked on the ground. I'm telling you what, and they're all gonna get arrested. There's paddy wagons all up and down the streets. So let them come. Let them act like idiots, like they normally do. And if they can't loot any stores, what are you gonna take a box of tampons from the Albertsons? That's possibly what they're gonna get at. Or their mom and their dad beat them too much. That's possibly another thing. They need to be, they need to be spanked the right way. Their mom and their dad, let them go and do whatever the fuck they want to do their whole entire life. It's perfect.
Have you had any personal encounters with the counter protesters or agitators, whatever you want to call them?
This is my first time, but this is my last time. I've already got sick of it because look what they're doing on our street. This is a 2-lane highway both ways, okay? They're fucking the street up. These people got to get home. They work all day long. These people don't need to take this much time getting home, okay? They got home to go. They got to get home to go get their kids. They got to go home, take their babysitter back to wherever their babysitter had to go to babysit their kids all day long. This is chaos. This is a bullshit. This is like an easy flowing street every single day of the week.
Coronavirus is a weapon.
It's a weapon?
All Chinese do it. They don't say it. All Chinese do it. Where, huh? I mean, where?
I think she just said coronavirus is a weapon. Chinese people. I didn't catch it, but.
Well, it is a weapon because Chinese people. That's what the whole thing is. Is Chinese people made the coronavirus up. This is a political bullshit thing. As soon as the elections go off, it's gonna be fucking. It's like, oh, you know what? Everything's becoming open again. It's all political. It's all a fucking joke. It's straight up fucking joke. I'm telling you.
What?
That's why these guys are out here right now because they're just doing their job. It's not that they have an easy job right now. It's fucking hot outside. They're trying to take care of their shit. But they're trying to take care of us. Trust.
What about the community? Do you feel like the community is supporting you?
This is my first time out here. So in the last 2 months, this has been going on right here on Lowell and Foothill Boulevard. My first time out here. Okay? But I'm getting sick of what's going on out here. You want to throw rocks at this guy right here? Okay? Or that guy. Or that guy. Or that guy. Or that guy. I'm coming out finally, okay? I'm gonna come out finally. Because you're not gonna throw rocks. I'm gonna go across the street, and as soon as you throw a rock, I'm gonna fucking knock you in the face.
I haven't seen footage.
I don't have no guns. You can check me. I got no guns.
I haven't seen footage of rock throwing last week. I saw some of the clash. Were there rocks thrown last week?
There was rocks thrown last week. Yeah.
At officers, at Trump supporters,
100%. Why do you think they're gonna shoot you with fucking beanbags? Because you're throwing rocks at them. So it's just common sense. You don't have a lot of common sense. If you're gonna throw rocks, I'm not gonna shoot you with something because you don't throw rocks at me, okay? I'm not gonna go 30 minutes later and flatten your fucking tires so you can't get out of here so we'll figure you out. No, I'm gonna shoot you with a fucking beanbag so you can't fucking move. That's what it is. These people are stupid. They wanna go and they wanna rally and they wanna fucking get up here and this, that, the other. There's too much political Trump / love / look, these half these police officers out here, no, I can't even say that. A third of these police officers might vote Democrat one way, I doubt it, but Trump's gonna make it fucking happen again.
Have you polled the officers?
What are you gonna vote?
I can't talk about that.
He ain't gonna vote.
I think he's been listening in on the conversation.
No, it doesn't matter. You know what? But our lives are turning out better. My life is turning out better. You know what? I'm a contractor, okay? I make $1.5 million a year, I did not take any stimulus money. Not one fucking cent.
Oh,
Not even a little bit.
Tell them we're ready to do the.
I didn't take one fucking cent. You know, I don't need to go back in there, okay? Because I'm not a fucking Democrat. I'm a scum sucker. Hey, I know how to make money. The problem with the people is that the Democrats don't know how to make money. The Republicans know how to make fucking money. There's makers and there's takers in this fucking world. Democrats take fucking money. Republicans go out and work hard for it. That's what this dude and this dude right here is doing right now. Look, that's Glendale. Or wait.
That says LAPD on it.
Well, it could be Glendale because Glendale's the same patch. Right. But anyways, even if it's not fucking Glendale, if you see Glendale later on down the road, because there's a boatload of them. I saw.
Officer,
are
there Glendale police officers out here now?
Yeah, it's right down there.
Yeah.
All right, so
if
we'll
you guys
Not
want
here right now. No, but the city's right there.
yeah.
But
So if they
but
wanna
right
run-
now there are no Glendale
All
off.
they know is just LA.
Okay.
Yeah, if they want to run and go back there and do their bullshit, we had a car outside of our fucking office, which I'm on Boston, so I'm in Glendale. Okay, right here, past Lowell is in Glendale. Okay, we had a car pass out. These guys put a bunch of shit back in their car when they came up here, and then all the fucking rocks being thrown, smoke bombs being thrown, the whole fucking 9 yards. We don't need this bullshit up here. I'm telling you right now, not at all. These guys are here for our protection, but as soon as these idiots want to bring stupid militia out here, it's gonna go off, and it might go off in different ways too. You might see some idiot wanting to suck his finger in the back. It's gonna go off. So,
Anything else?
no, not really. Just telling you, if you're for a different party, it's good, but they don't need to come up in this town right now and try to fuck with these people. Because if you see from start to finish, these people right here, they love this town. They do. And we love them 100%. I'm telling you right now, 150%. Take your camera and point up that way, and point it back down that way, because we love these people in this town.
Hey guys, thanks for your support. My health mom also wants me to have you step back.
This line right here? All right.
Yeah,
Being
he doesn't
told by
like
the
it.
officer to step behind this line. All right, but I think we're wrapping
We're good?
up right now. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
All right, where's your mask at?
It's right in.
Where's my mask at?
I have no idea where your mask
Fine.
is.
It's in my pocket.
All right.
All right, good. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
You have a good one. It's right here. By the way.
Oh, he's got a mask.
Mike's got a mask.
Mike has a mask.
Mike has a mask. Look.
It's a little alliteration there.
It should say, for all the Antifa motherfuckers that want to come up in this town, Tujunga, you're going to get dealt with. Peace out. Don't come here because we don't need any of your political bullshit. We love black, we love white, we love fucking Mexican, we love green, we love brown, we love fucking everything. That's how it goes. I tell you what, don't shit here because this ain't your party. Don't try to fucking ruin anything about this whole fucking protest going on right now. Plus, Black Lives Matter for black people. And they fucking hate the fact whatever you're fucking doing right now and trying to fucking ruin the Black Lives Matter fucking protest. Because you guys are fucking rooting, you guys are rioting, you guys are fucking up cop cars, you guys are doing everything wrong. You guys are trying to fucking reset this whole fucking thing right now. I'm telling you what, don't do this anymore because it's a fucking joke. You guys stupid ass motherfucking idiots are fucking doing this fucking the way reverse way. Period. That's what it is. I'm telling you. You got sexy glasses. See? All right. Well, don't have to touch her, dude. I'm not trying to keep on her. You guys good?
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Here's an interesting outfit. Hello. You want to pop on my live stream?
No thanks. Spies are here.
Oh yeah, I'm a spy for I don't know whom, but okay. Yeah, I'm live on Josh Friedman YouTube channel. My name's Josh Friedman. You can tune on in along with the other 180 people watching right now.
Are you Trump or Biden?
Ma'am, I'm press. My name's Josh Friedman. I'm live on YouTube. I write for Calcos News. You can find all about me online. You can watch my videos. You can read my articles. I'm not voting for either. I'm not voting, period. Yeah. Yes, ma'am, I'm a spy. How did you know I'm a spy?
Choose for Trump.
I'm Jewish.
Good. He's the most pro-Israel guy you'll ever have, probably running this country.
Okay, we're Jewish too.
Were you at the Elon Omar event last year on Canoga?
No, last year I was out of the country. I'm from LA, but I'd been living out of the country for 5 years.
They had to shut down. They had to shut down Canoga.
Hold on one
So
second,
many
hold on one
people
second.
Showed up to protest for being there.
Ilhan Omar was here for an event last year.
Yeah, it was at the Hilton on Canoga last year, and so many people showed up. The whole Israeli community showed up to protest her being there, and a lot of them were Democrats. And we had big signs made up: Americans against Democrats hate. So, and a lot of Jewish people sort of started seeing the light on that day. It was pretty incredible.
I think your colleague was asking me if I'm pro-Trump or Biden. I don't know if she's still interested.
I don't know. You can talk to me.
All right, I guess she's no longer interested. All right, but
Her parents were both
I'm Jewish.
rabbis.
Born and raised Jewish. I mean, once you're born Jewish, you are Jewish.
Some people convert.
Oh yeah, that's true. I guess you could convert. All right.
Okay, that's time the other guy.
Bye. Have a nice day. Some lady here is convinced I'm a spy. All right.
Hey, spy. How are you doing?
I guess it'd be awkward. I usually get accused of being Mossad, but I guess it would be awkward if she accuses me of being Mossad if they're defending Judaism and view me as a spy. All right, what were we up to? Where's that man who's gonna do an interview?
I don't know. He wasn't. Maybe we go around.
And sorry, guys, in the chat, it's been hard to monitor comments today. There's a lot of glare here. It's very bright. But as we try to find this man, yeah, Mossad confirmed for sure. Mossad, born and raised Mossad. KGB also. KGB and Mossad. Zionist, KGB, Mossad. You name it, I'm that. I guess no one wants to give me CIA credentials. Melania isn't Russian. I think she's Slovenian. Or let's just try to find where's this man who wanted to talk to us. All right, so maybe we point the camera at the PetSmart of all things.
Oh, yes.
That's the first I heard that PetSmart is a gathering point for counter protesters, but yeah.
There's another media group here.
Who else is there?
Yeah, this guy. He's part of Chinese media.
Which Chinese what media?
Just like you.
Like CGTN or something? This is interesting. Well, it looks like they're filming a segment right now, so when they're done with that, maybe. Have you spoken with them? Are they with, what's the name of that newspaper? I can't think of the name of the newspaper. What's the name of the newspaper associated with the Falun Gong movement and that's pro-Trump? Someone help me out in the chat. Although I don't know who they are. But they're in the middle of filming something, so there you guys can see it. This woman was screaming something about the coronavirus being a Chinese plot. What was she saying? As she was running with the flag?
Coronavirus is a bioweapon from China?
Maybe something like that. Oh, Epic Times, thank you. Are they with Epic Times? Oh no, they're talking in Chinese. I'll come back. They're filming something with an interesting microphone.
Correct? Yeah.
And an American flag.
Might be available for mountain biking tomorrow.
Anyway, I'll come back when they're done filming. Annabelle, can you zoom in on the PetSmart? So the man who was making, yeah, it's
Where's
so
the
bright.
PetSmart? Oh,
Straight,
yeah,
straight
I
there.
can remember.
The man who was basically saying Antifa,
Yeah.
BLM don't show up here. He was saying that he expects later this evening counter protesters or agitators to gather here at the PetSmart. Based on what, I'm not sure, but you can see that PetSmart's up the street from here, like one football field length away, something like that. Can you zoom back out now? All right, but nothing really doing over here at the moment.
So you got a light?
Here's a, oh, we're still zoomed in. There we go. Oh. Couldn't hear. I don't know if she was cursing at Trump or supporters or what, but I heard that woman screaming bitches as she leaned her neck out the truck window and drove away. We do have people across the street, but they appear to be part of the same crowd. As I've been saying during this broadcast, looks like we have Trump supporters on both sides of the street. Although most of them, sorry about the Zoom problems, I'm not used to. Oh, now someone's screaming "losers of Tujunga" as she peeks her head out the window while driving. Okay, so the woman who is doing the parent reporting for Chinese media is screaming whatever is going on in America is CNN's fault. I don't know if this is really a news publication or some stunt or what. There's a prayer going on. Annabelle. Oh, I was thinking we were on that hot spot, but then I realized I'm not. Yeah, I'm sorry, officer. There's, across the street, there's a prayer. Maybe you can see him kneeling right over there. Can you check the percentage on this?
Is this possible that this battery pack is off?
It should be working.
Do you need to charge?
I don't know. I don't know how to check the percentage.
I don't know how to do this thing.
Will I get a notification if it's getting low?
Yes.
Let's.
We go for 5 minutes and then.
I've got a battery pack. Let's walk down to Lowell, the cross street of, or the nearest major cross street. We're on Foothill Boulevard. Oh. And I'm running into a flag. Looks like there's an officer having a discussion with people in front of the In-N-Out. interesting as I walk with Annabelle right now. I find where demonstrators expect a member of the press to be openly or covertly for one candidate or another, or one political side or another. It almost seems like I've got to give a speech on a regular basis now as to whether or not, as to whether I'm supporting Trump or Biden.
There was a lady in a wheelchair who called us spy.
Yeah, that's part of what I'm referencing. So, all right, we're at the corner or the intersection of Foothill and Lowell. Now, this is interesting. The city of Glendale, as you got a motorcycle with a thin blue line flag. We're in Los Angeles, and Glendale is on the other side of this intersection, the city of Glendale, that is. Let's see if we can cross. Or, here we go. Here's the LA city limit sign. And it's really bright, and I can hardly see what I'm pointing at. But there, you should see it. There we go, the LA city limit sign. So we're just within the city limits of Los Angeles, and hence have LAPD officers present as opposed to Glendale officers present, which police were talking about, or one officer was clarifying to the man I was interviewing a little while back.
I think there are more people now.
You think there are more people showed up? Hard for me to tell. I don't really get that impression, but possibly. Actually, I wanted to cross the street to go speak with the people. Let's do that.
Yes.
Let's cross the street so we can speak with the people on the other side of the street and give you an angle of the protest from across the street. I should say.
They have free food over there.
Are you hungry?
A little bit.
Here we are again at the corner of Foothill and Lowell. This way. I think we can cross.
No, it's that.
Oh, it's a green traffic light. Red pedestrian hand. Okay, comments. Let's take a look at the chat. A while back, Carol thanked for the stream. You're welcome, Carol. Annabelle's a super spreader. Jonah, I don't think it's the Epic Times who are here. They seem, this woman with the microphone seems like she's doing something satirical. Maybe not satirical. Maybe that's...
I think I need a gas mask for all the fumes.
It just doesn't really come across as the Epic Times. We've got gas masks.
Can't breathe.
I mean, the air is all right, but there's a big SUV right in front of us right here. I guess traffic is backed up a little bit because of the rally, or because the police are in the street cutting off a lane. And maybe you want to say that's because of the rally, maybe you want to say that's because of what happened last week and the threat of counter-protesters showing up and there being clashes. I think we should have crossed already. I don't think we need to wait for... Okay, there we go. Across Foothill Boulevard we go. People do like to rev their engines a little bit around here. The demonstrators are lined up, as are LAPD. starting just past this In-N-Out. And they go a little ways past the Big Five sporting goods. If you're just tuning in, things got a bit violent here last week. There have been rallies here weekly on Fridays. And last week, a bunch of counter-protesters showed up. Unfortunately, I wasn't there. I wanted to get there, but I didn't get here in time. Didn't manage to make it out last Friday afternoon or evening. But a lot of people here are blaming it on Antifa, on agitators, etc. So here's the rally, looking from across the street at both the demonstrators and the LAPD officers. Actually, the LAPD officers are getting a bit relaxed now. They're not really in a line anymore. They're more like in circles and pairs talking with one another. Watch out, watch out. And then we've got another crowd right over here on our side of the street in the shade outside the Albertsons. But it does not look like we have any counter-protesters here. Let's look at what... Is everyone here with the rally across the street? You're with the rally across the street? There are no counter-protesters over here, are there?
No. Sorry to disappoint you.
Yeah, it is. I think it disappoints my audience more.
Actually, what we do, we feed the homeless. We're a group called Hope for Homeless Youth. I'm one of the pastors that's represent a group of pastors of this area. So we just want people to know that we're down here praying for our city. We're praying for our police department. We're praying for peace. Praying for this pandemic, you know, and we're humbling ourselves, asking God and public to forgive us for we haven't been the church that's been alive, that hasn't been out helping people, you know, and that's primarily why we're down here. Tomorrow we have a big feeding for needy families. We'll feed, you know, up to 200 families tomorrow, free food. So we just want to be a church. I have a free computer training center. I give away free computers to underprivileged kids down in South Central and up here. So we just want people to know that we're a church that is really involved in helping people and making a difference out here, you know.
Are there people out here who aren't able to go to church because of COVID restrictions?
There's a lot of people. Huh? Hey, okay, God bless you. Come in the morning or come on a Saturday. There are still a lot of churches that aren't meeting. Some churches are meeting outside. We meet outside about every morning, have our services. There's some that are meeting inside that are, you know, practice distancing and they wear masks. So there's a lot. So it's a mixed group, I guess. Okay. You know, there's a lot that don't feel that they feel like it's unconstitutional to tell the church they can't meet, they can't sing, and so there's kind of a controversy about that, the whole thing going on now.
Is that part of what motivates people to come out here weekly, or are there different reasons that people come out here?
No. There was a group, you know, that are against our governor, okay, because he's making laws that forbid churches to meet, so they're against Governor what's his name?
Newsom.
And but primarily this is just today's been there's been no events here because the anti-Trump people are those that want to become violent and throw rocks and throw bricks and throw everything and fight with people. They're not here. They didn't show up today.
Were you here last week?
I wasn't here. Were you?
No, I wasn't,
So
unfortunately.
I just heard about it. They had tear gas. They had fights break out. They had, somebody had a gun, but they had to shoot people with rubber bullets. It was really bad last week. That's why the police are here. There was a lot more police here earlier, but they come to, protect that group over there from. We brought several wooden crosses, because we're churches. We wanted to bring a cross, but the police said we had to put the crosses away because they were afraid that the Antifa people, which are violent, and then some of the Black Lives Matters people are also violent. Okay, so they were afraid that they would take the wood from the crosses and use it to attack.
Has that ever happened to you or your church?
Let's see. I haven't personally been involved in that. Now, we go down in front of the City Hall in Los Angeles, and we wash people's feet down there. We do what's called reconciliation ministry, and we pray for each other, and then we actually do baptisms down there in front of City Hall just to show that we're not afraid to really be on the cutting edge. But everything we do is to bring forth peace and dissolve violence and conflict between people, and just show them that what Jesus would do. He'd be out there loving people and caring for people, and he said love your enemies. He didn't say go do violent. He said don't return evil for evil. Do good for people, and that's the way to make your enemies your friends. Is you love your enemies. We can have our differences, but we can agree to disagree peacefully. Okay, and we don't need to use bad tactics. Okay. We can disagree peacefully, because everybody has their strengths. Trump's got his strengths and his weaknesses, Biden's the same way. And but we just need to be grateful that we need to, instead of fighting each other and complaining, we need to be grateful that we live in a free country, that we don't have to, that we have food to eat, that we can raise our kids in a safe place, that we don't have a dictatorship, over this nation. And so that's kind of it. But we love the good Lord. We don't push God or religion.
Hold on one second.
Hey, Jesus!
100 more years!
I think that was an anti-Donald Trump song, but I'm not positive. What's the name of your church, and where can people find information about it?
We help different churches to start outreach departments. This is my group. That's me and my wife. I run this group called Hope for Homeless Youth. And then our church is called Fire Point, that we help. You can have this if you want. And we help different groups.
Firepointchurch.com, yes?
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
And where do people find out about your homeless aid organization?
They can go on our website, Hope for Homeless Youth, and .org, and they can see our website, see a video on the work we do for troubled youth, and help get kids out of drugs and gangs. And we have a free computer training center down in South Central where there's a lot of troubled gang beating kids, a lot of fatherless boys. Okay, for sure, just boys that need a father. So that's a lot of the ones we work with. These guys a lot of them are in our men's home, and then I have a women's home for battered women and women that have gone through abuse, and that's up there in Sunland. And so that's a lot of things that we do to help people. We have a 1-year rehabilitation program, Christian discipleship. that's kind of what we do.
All right, thank you very much.
What's that?
I said thank you very much.
Hey, thank you guys. Keep up the good work.
So it looks like the church members are the main people gathered here across the street. Although, who are you talking to? Is he also in the church? Serious? What did he say? Excuse me. My name's Josh Friedman. I'm a journalist and I'm live on YouTube. Would any of you be interested in coming on and saying what brings you out today?
Go for it. I'm awful on camera. I'm the one who holds the camera.
Well, I mean, it's no pressure.
Okay.
Not too many professionals. Go for it. What brings you out here today?
Personally, like just Black Lives Matter to support,
So you're out here to support Black Lives Matter?
Yes.
And you're out here to demonstrate against the Trump rally people here, or you come out here?
It's also very anti-Trump. That's a lot of it, anti-Trump. Anyone but Trump, 2020. That's how I feel. But I want to get my ass kicked, so I'm not, advertising it too much right now. All the BLM left.
Was BLM here today?
I don't know. I don't think so. But last week and the last month or two, they were.
Were you here last week?
Yes.
Could you tell me what happened? So far, I've only heard from that side what happened last week. Could you tell me what happened last week?
Okay. Last week, the police, for the first time, were in between the two sides. And for a while there, it was peaceful because of that. Weeks before the Trump side would come over to this side and try to instigate fights and stuff, which they probably still are right now. And then so the police were in the middle, and then the two sides got together like they have before. And then in the past, the two sides have just broken it up. But the police were there this time, and they called an unlawful assembly and said you had to leave in 10 minutes, whatever, or you get arrested. So most people left, and those that didn't got their thing, but I left before that happened. So
Most people on both sides left, or most people on one side
I would
left?
say 100% of Trump side left, and 75% of BLM side left.
Okay. There's some video footage online, particularly on Twitter, I think, of BLM side clashing with police, and I believe some rubber bullets or some sort of projectile were fired.
Yeah.
You weren't here at that point?
Well, okay, so check this out. I was down here for a while, and I happened to get new tires on my car, so I had to go deal with that, I had to leave. When I came back, I couldn't come back to this area because they closed it off. So I literally parked over there, and was above the In-N-Out, watching it go down. And then it got kind of heated, so that's when 100% of Trump side left, 3/4 of BLM left. And then it started getting heated, and then they kicked us out. So they kicked us out. I left. That was it. And then after that, I started rubber bullets. So I didn't see any rubber bullets. But I saw it on video. But I wasn't here for the rubber bullets.
Have you been coming out here over several weeks?
This is my third time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this goes back about 2 months, or how
would
long?
say. But
and every Friday afternoon?
Yeah. And so the Trump side comes out apparently at 1 p.m. BLM around 4. See, now I have an opinion that this side could be better if there wasn't friggin' Biden as the representative. Because
when you say this side, you don't mean the protest.
I mean anti-Trump
mean?
side. Anti-Trump side.
Okay, you are talking about
It is anti-Trump.
Okay.
I wish there was a better candidate, personally, to get behind. because they could get behind their candidate, but we can't get behind ours. I mean, I don't know. And then so like to have BLM and Trump go against each other was kind of weird in a conflict anyway. I think it would have been better of Trump versus Biden, or I don't know, BLM versus whoever fucking probably is Trump. I don't know.
QAnon maybe? I don't know. You're trying to draw that comparison. Is there a candidate you feel like you could get behind? Who...
I mean, I personally voted for Elizabeth Warren, but that's like Pete Buttigieg. No one was asking for Biden. This is my friggin' opinion. I will vote for Biden. I'll vote for anyone except for Trump. But I bet my cousin $100 3 years ago that Trump will get reelected. And he lives in San Francisco. He's good voting for whoever's voting against Trump. So will I. And I still feel good about my bet, unfortunately.
I hope you lose.
I do too.
Sounds like you have a conflict of interest.
No, I hope I lose. But I'm afraid he's going to win because there's so much support for him. Biden's not that strong. I feel like I could beat Trump. Fucking Biden they put out there. It's fine, whatever. I'm not going to argue with that. But I don't know. Personally, I feel like Hillary Clinton would be the winner.
You thought Hillary would win or did not think she would?
Everyone thought she was going to be a
landslide victory for Hillary?
Yes.
Okay.
Everyone was shocked.
Well, you and many others thought that.
Fucking hate it.
As we have a large Trump truck making its way down Foothill Boulevard.
I'm pretty boring.
Well, there isn't a very large BLM contingent out here today. I hate to break it to you, but I'm not going to be editing you. Although most people accuse me of, or suspicious that I'm going to highly edit stuff.
Last week, there was some like news. There's still like KTLA, whatever, or 7 News. They were filming the Trump side, and then they came back across the BLM side, and the Trump side was yelling, fake news at them.
At KTLA.
Or something like that, like 7 or 4 or CBS or something.
So a local LA news channel.
Yeah, so, and they're just like filming what's going on, so don't feel too bad.
Which side was larger last week at the peak of the demonstration?
Equal. Well, okay, larger? Yeah, last week was the biggest. The Trump float.
Oh, the Trump float was here. Yeah, I saw that the next day in Hollywood and Beverly Hills.
Okay. And then there's been Harley Davidson. I don't know. People have said gangs and stuff. Revving engines. And then this side over here has been very big as well.
So about how many
and then
people?
Last week, I think the BLM started like marching up, and that's what kind of started the whole issue. Yeah.
Was everyone on this side BLM, or were there also people from
BLM,
other groups?
BLM.
Because over on the Trump side, they tend to group a lot of people over here as being Antifa.
I don't know. I don't judge anybody, but there were some radical people. I don't know what you want to call it, like. I don't know what even the Antifa means or how to identify a person who is from Antifa.
It's very decentralized, so and quite anonymous. So good luck identifying.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to.
But about how many people on each side last week?
Oh man. Okay. 2,000.
2,000 on each side?
Probably like 1,000. Okay. All right. Maybe like, yeah, 1,000 to 2,000, 1,200, 1,800.
All right.
Something like that on each side.
So much larger than even the crowd on the Trump side today.
Shitload. All in the street.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Well, nothing.
Or any predictions, maybe?
Nothing besides I come up here for like, a little bit of the action, which is kind of some bullshit, like. But ultimately, I do support.
What about Tujunga as a community? More
That's a
on
great question.
the Trump
man.
side, more on
That's a
this
great
side.
question. Okay, because I work with people in Tujunga all the time, and most people are so good. They are so nice, and I don't know about political, like where they stand, probably Republican. But everyone's been so nice. Like I don't know. I haven't had any issues. But I have heard the N-word be used twice by 2 different people in the town, which I found very uncomfortable. So that has happened. So I think there is some weird, history of it here, like racism, which is like coming to the surface now, which is weird. But at the same time, you can talk to them about confusing the Trump line and racism line. That's not for me to decide. I have my opinions, but there's probably way smarter people than me.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, bro.
Stay safe.
All right, let's go.
What's your
Josh Friedman. You can just type in Josh Friedman on
that's a
YouTube,
great question.
and I'm live right now.
I love them
exactly.
all, so
IEDMAN.
so comfortable. They have no soul, so you can feel the ground. Cool.
Yeah, sure thing.
Yeah, it's called nomadic state of mind.
It's problematic.
rough, right?
It's problematic when I'm live streaming.
I just mean like the whole
check
you
it out.
talking because you don't have a mic, right?
And,
Yes, because I need to
I
be.
saw someone with them, and
Annabelle, we gotta plug this in. I need to be live in the YouTube app, so it's complicated if I don't have some camera that can stream on YouTube.
Yeah.
What I try to do, generally speaking, is when I'm doing interviews to step away from the noise, but there's only so much I can control.
Right. You need a little boom mic. They make
That,
boom mics that plug into the side.
that would help actually.
Yeah, those are great. Can't help myself. I work in production, so.
Oh no, I need it. I yesterday at a demonstration, there were several people coming up to me, actually saying they want to help me get better equipment. This doesn't cut it. It's
nice. All right, you guys.
How was it? Just 2 of you, or how many people were on your side today?
Well, we showed up late and we didn't see.
Not our side.
I mean, you're looking at what's going on.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
Nothing.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess
You guys
that's
might
it
have
then.
seen more. So.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Have
Take
a
care.
nice day.
Hi. Why is this not showing how much percentage it has?
I'll figure it out. Hold for a second. So I was just speaking with the man who's here with the BLM man I interviewed. Yeah, I only, as we're having some battery difficulties, I think there are only 2 counter protesters here today, and we just did an interview with one of them. Is this cord work?
Yes.
Sure. Just try to.
Both of them have some issue. Just
There's
try it.
15%.
try it. Just
Yeah,
try
that
it.
should turn on. Okay, now we're charging.
Okay, it's charging.
I don't know what's up with this lady with the Chinese. I don't know if it's a broadcaster, a news channel. I have no idea what it is, but she's yelling again. She's yelling something about Chinese stuff.
All Chinese Trump, she says. All Chinese Trump. That's what she says. All Chinese Trump.
Let's go across the street and yeah, well, are they coming or going? Or maybe these are replacements? Yeah, let's monitor this. So side by side in 2 lines, LAPD officers marching up along Foothill, now single file. and forming a new police line. I don't know if they suspect counter-protesters to show up now or what.
You guys gonna go back across the street?
Yeah, we're heading back across the street.
You guys gonna go right this street? Or go around?
Well, if you want to go in a pack, I guess we could.
I want to get back to the other side, but I don't want to go the long way.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna go the long way. I don't want to go charging through a riot squad line. Well, we found 2 counter demonstrators, but they just left. And I don't think the riot squad is out here for the 2 men with whom we just spoke. Who? Yeah, but I want to get over to the other side. I hear that Chinese lady still screaming. Oh, it looks like the officers might be leaving. Or maybe, yeah, one group leaves, one group stays. That's what it looks like is happening. Sometime soon, I too will be faced with the decision as to whether to leave or stay. There might be action in downtown LA tonight. I'm not sure. There was a lot of action earlier this week in downtown LA. I was there one night. Okay, that lady driving in this white SUV just screamed out, "Fuck Trump, you fucking assholes." So definitely not everyone here is a Trump supporter. Rami, regarding your point, there was someone on the Trump side echoing that point, saying he expects when it gets dark, the counter-protesters and agitators will arrive, but I don't know if that's based on any strong evidence or source. A lot of traffic in and around this In-N-Out. I personally am not stopping for In-N-Out right now. The officers occupying one of the lanes does create a little bit of a log jam here on Foothill by Lowell. Alright, we're back at the start of, or the edge of the rally.
There was some water earlier.
Yeah. Oh, we don't have any? Well, alright. It's like some friendly chatter between police and Trump supporters. Also, look, people are instructed to stay on or near the sidewalk. Here's the new line of LAPD officers.
Not bad, not bad.
I'm gonna try to find a different angle where we're not looking into the sun quite as much.
I wasn't.
Excuse me?
Get that out of my face.
Sir, I wasn't even here to film you, but
Okay,
this,
all right. Well,
I have
every time I turn around,
I have a First Amendment right.
Okay, but
to-
I'm just asking you
keep it out of my face.
I've already had a few of these discussions with people here today.
I don't care. They don't want to be filmed, and I'm going to be another one. Don't be
This is also a public place, and I'm allowed to film here. By media law, I'm allowed to film here.
I'm just asking you not to film me.
Sure.
Don't you think this is the right way to protest rather than messing up our country's businesses and violently wreaking havoc in the streets? We're all here having a good time, making our cause known instead of being criminals.
You think we could step away from the music a little bit so people can hear you clearer?
Yeah, but I just want you to know this is the right way to do things. Not coming over here and ruining Litchi Mex's or going to Melrose Avenue and breaking into businesses. That's wrong. Okay? If you wanna make your cause known, this is the way to do it. Okay, if you go into popular areas or any area and you vandalize and you incriminate yourself, how do you expect people to hear your cause? Let's be smart here. Okay, so I just want you guys to know that this is the right way to do things. Okay, take notes. I know things are tense right now in our country. But if we keep things peaceful, as many leftists promote, then on both ends, maybe we can come to some sort of a solution rather than promoting violence, shitting on the people that are here and keeping our children safe at night, okay? These are the people that are the reason that we can sleep at night, okay? And we demonize them every day. And it's not fair to the police officers. It's not fair to people that are dying in the streets as well. But there's a better way to do things than to kind of make people say, "Oh my God, see, how am I supposed to listen to somebody who's making their point across in a non-peaceful way?" And that's all I wanted to say.
Can you explain, because I wasn't here last week, can you explain what happened with this shop or
I don't know what
restaurant?
happened to this shop. Nothing happened to this restaurant. It's just an example because there was a lot of businesses in LA, various parts, that were damaged. And that's not fair. That's not fair to business owners, whether they're people of color, whether they're white, whether they're gay, no matter what they are, that's not fair. So this is the right way to do things. And I don't really have anything else to say. I just wanted to let you guys know that it's fine. You guys are here, you guys want to film. Some people may not like it, but just know this is how to get your point across. That's all.
Okay. Trying to wind our way over to the Chinese, at least I think she's Chinese. The lady who's been screaming stuff out about China and the coronavirus and where?
They have to bring us down. If you have to choose, if we have to choose,
okay.
We know
Excuse me, are you with the news organization?
No, we are social media.
Social media company.
I'm live on YouTube. Would you like to explain what brings you out here?
Oh yeah, because we are from Hong Kong.
Wait, you're covering this. I was trying to get a shot of the first sign, but all right. There we go.
We are from Hong Kong.
Okay, your enemy is the CCP. Okay.
Yeah, our enemy
and their
is
sign.
I was born in the U.S.
And we are American. We are American.
For 20 plus years.
And wait, one at a time. There are two people talking right now. Who first? You.
And then this is what happened. We had a
Democrats only plan Trump takes actions. All right.
Let me explain the sign. Yesterday, Kamala Harris tried to lay out a plan and saying Trump didn't have any plan
for attacking or overcome this coronavirus stuff or CCP virus, China virus. But in fact,
Wear a mask, people. It's not a hoax.
in fact, on January.
Coronavirus is not a hoax. The CCP bioweapon.
In January 31st, Trump already called United Airlines, Delta, and another one to stop plane coming from China.
And do you think that was the right decision?
I think it's the right decision because we know what's going on. We know how bad this CCP virus is. But most American, the people here, they have no idea. They still try to believe WHO. But back then, we already not trusting WHO. We know WHO already is corrupt with the CCP already. Look at Taiwan. What happened? They stopped anything going there from China. So Trump is doing his best based on what he got, the information what he got. On January 31st, he stopped those flights. Except he is allowing American to come in, or American or any family member, still allowing them to come in, even though they've been China or anywhere.
Have you been back and forth between the U.S. and China?
No.
Do you have relatives in China?
I have no relative. No relative.
Okay, so when you say that the virus, I guess you call it the CCP virus, when you say it's much worse, then we realize what is that based on?
We have all because what happened is I read Chinese.
Okay.
People in China, they do send out information. They still have people able to send out information to US. So we are able to get those kind of information. Right,
I'm so sorry.
Well, I want to get to you next. But
and then what happened is, I try to finish explaining this. On January 31st, Trump stopped. And then what happened is, based on only like 200 cases, Trump has to stop because he started to sense kind of like something wrong with the China information. He stopped it, but Biden called Trump xenophobic. At the same time, New York Times blamed Trump on the stock market because on the stock market falling. But in fact, he is based on the only 200 case. That's all he can do. And now Democrats need to stop spinning the news. That is stop spinning the news. This is the fact. And how do we know what happened? Because we read both sides. We know how CCP wrote one version in English and in other version in Chinese. We know that.
So what's one narrative that the CCP puts out differently in English and in Chinese?
Oh, a lot.
Give me an example of one narrative.
Right now, right over my head, I don't have the exact news.
An example.
They have the news. They have news. They have two versions. One version for Chinese people. In Chinese.
Oh yeah.
And the other version is in English.
What's one example of that with the virus?
Oh, that they tell their two versions of the same story.
Yes.
They would say to China, to their inside people, to their nation, to the people inside, they would say we won't bow to the U.S. They will have to listen to us. But to the world, they will say don't make U.S. mad. They will come beat us. So they tell two different stories.
What about with the virus, with the pandemic? What's an example of them having two different stories?
They try.
Oh, they have more than two stories.
Okay.
There are more than two stories.
Any example?
Okay. They say. So they have said for the first round, they have said it's from the U.S. and back in the October 2019, the military Olympics in Wuhan. The virus is from
That U.S. military brought the virus
Yes.
to a facility in Wuhan.
yes,
okay.
that's when the military Olympics was going on in Wuhan, the city, and they said that the virus is already happening then from the U.S.
And to the world, the CCP says what?
That's what they said. That's what they said.
I mean, and I'm excuse me, and
I can send you the information if you give me
Let me try.
it's
Let me try. No worries.
it's
I
all
mean,
right. I think you're saying the different explanations of the origin of the virus. I get what you're right.
They don't tell the truth. The CCP won't.
You're
tell
saying their
the truth.
story has changed about the origin of the
They
virus.
they have also said it's from Italy for the first round. That's happening before this February. They have this two stories going on. One's from America, the other from Italy.
Okay, now I hear you shouting out that the virus is a bioweapon.
Yes.
Please explain.
For me, so we all know that the trade war was going on. Trump has been talking about it ever since he comes up, and then for us Chinese, we
Hold on
know
one
that
second. We've got
the economy in China is very unstable, and it's been going on for a few years now. That they're losing jobs, the factories are closing, they don't have enough money, and Trump's trade deal will bring more pressure. And what Trump wants is to want a fair game with China because all the companies in China is state-owned, and the companies that trading with China in the U.S. they're private companies. So Trump wants them to open up. Basically, Trump wants them to follow the rules that they agreed when they first start trading. America gave them some leeway about the companies being transitioned from state-owned to private-owned throughout the years. So it's been 10-something years now, and they still not following what they agree on.
But what if it indeed, or
And
if the virus was a bioweapon?
So
What was
they
the?
will have to pay tax to the U.S. And then China has been saying that it is an unfair deal. They won't yield, they won't bow, they won't pay the taxes. That's what they have been spreading the messages to the people inside China. So, but to me, I know the economic situation going on inside, that they had to sign the trade deal with Trump. Otherwise, they wouldn't survive the collapse. They have to sign the trade deal with Trump to have orders come in, to have people produce. Otherwise, they won't survive this collapse that is to come.
And why exactly
And
in this picture? Why exactly was the bioweapon needed?
Yes. Okay. So and I know that China has nothing to bring to the table because they broke all the rules that they agreed that they were to comply, but they never did. They got nothing. They had to sign. But to China, the people, they already said they won't bow. So on this side they bow, on the other side they revenge by releasing the virus to bring U.S. down. That's me as a Hong Kong American. I grew up in Hong Kong. I've been here for over 20 years. I knew in my gut that China won't sign it away without doing nothing. That's what I knew in my gut. But and then for me to say that because I watched them do other stuff before, so I knew that they would do something. I wrote last year, August 13th, on my Facebook status saying, if China wants to survive the economic collapse, Trump was their savior. That's what I wrote. Because I had that unresolved, knowing that China wouldn't comply. That's why I wrote that. and I don't know how it's gonna end. But with this coming back of the coronavirus, it kind of explains the story. To me, it's a complete story because we know what they are capable of doing. They would do it. They don't care about people dying. What they care is to bring U.S. down to their feet. That's what they care.
And do you also believe that China is trying to drive Trump out of office?
Oh, of course, because Trump has been poking them all along.
And are you out here to support Trump as well
Yes.
as to speak about? Okay. And
Yes. As a Chinese American, I have to tell America what I know. I have to tell America what I know. It's my job, and it's the voters deserve to know all the details before they make choices. Whether they choose left or right, we voters deserve to know all the details of all the things that will bring after whom we vote for. To make educated decisions. That's what I think.
sorry, I just panned away as a man reaches out his driver's side window with a middle finger and screaming, "You racist fucks." I'm here to cover the demonstration as well. You don't think that Biden can stand up to China, do you?
No.
Or do you?
No.
And why?
Very consistently. First of all, Biden already said he would cancel the tax, and then secondly,
the tariff, you mean?
The tariffs.
Okay.
That's right, the tariffs. Secondly, Harris is already passing laws to prosecute people who call the coronavirus China virus, Wu flu, something like that. She is already passing laws on that. Thirdly, days ago, I think a Chinese department, I don't know which one, but they said Biden is a softer leader for China to deal with. That's what they say. So consistently, it's been giving us consistent messages that Biden would be a helper of China.
And you're saying that's coming from internal
Yes.
Chinese memos? Okay.
Yes.
Lastly, it's complicated. It'll probably take a while, but could you briefly explain your thoughts on the situation in Hong Kong with regard to the election in the U.S. right now?
What happened?
I mean, how you think Trump's handling Hong Kong, and how you think Biden might handle Hong Kong?
China is not only eating up Hong Kong, America, it already has eaten up Australia, Canada, Europe, Japan, Korea. Many places have been infiltrated with the money, the CCP money. So American voters, what we're voting for, not just affect America, the well-being, the safety of America, but the well-being and safety of the whole world. We having this.
Well, isn't Biden proposing stricter measures? For instance, Biden's calling for a mask mandate and Trump is not.
I suggest we all wear masks because it's a real weapon. People have a lot of difficulties, a lot of sentiments about wearing masks. Don't look at what people say here about wearing masks because there are a lot of things going on. Look at the countries surrounding China, Taiwan, Japan, Korea, Hong Kong. When this happened, they immediately all wear a mask because they had it before, they knew it. So we refer to the numbers there instead of here because they're over-reporting of the coronavirus cases. We don't know, there are a lot of reports saying if people die or have symptoms of TBs, they'll be reported as coronavirus. So we don't know the numbers if they are true or not. Don't refer to those numbers. Refer to the numbers not of America, not of China, but to the surrounding countries of China, and we'll learn more.
Okay, thank you very much. And what's your social media channel?
Asia Sky Media.
Where do people find that?
Find us on Facebook, on YouTube, Asia Sky Media. We're located in Montebello, California.
Asia Sky Media.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much and best of luck.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah. I was really happy about that. All right, guys. I saw some of your comments. Not every day I run into someone from Hong Kong. Josh Friedman. Josh Friedman, Friedman. Josh Friedman on YouTube. We're live on YouTube.
Wonderful. Josh Friedman.
Josh Friedman, yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Maybe one day you can come to my studio.
I'll send you an email.
Come to my studio and we can do an interview.
Okay, sure.
I will look into the box.
Thank you. Oh, there's a fuck Donaldson. So yeah, we've got definitely some people driving by who have choice words for the pro-Trump crowd here. And I guess when someone was making the point earlier that this is a diverse pro-Trump crowd, well, you've got a couple interesting characters over here. And yeah, no, not that I'm the diversity police, but I've seen some different shades of pigmentation here.
And these guys would really like
Let's see, comments. I get the impression that I'm live on my personal YouTube channel. My name is Josh Friedman. I'm live on the Josh Friedman channel.
Yeah. No, we did the Hollywood March for the Save the Children last week. So a few of our friends are doing the live stream. He just said you guys are doing live stream for Trump.
Sorry guys. Okay, great to see you. You're welcome. Oh, that's a Trump, well, I should say a vehicle with American flags on it, but seems to be giving support for Trump. Some people definitely honking in support, some people making noise from their vehicles, definitely not supportive of the pro-Trump crowd. I wasn't expecting so much of a geopolitical stream, but yeah, I'm seeing comments about Hong Kong, Tibet, elsewhere. The woman from Hong Kong had a lot to say geopolitically. Oops, didn't mean to zoom in. Sorry, still getting used to this phone. By the way, I launched this broadcast on a different stream, and that went out after just a couple minutes. It went out in the middle of an interview about what happened last week, but luckily I've been able to speak with multiple people during this broadcast and get two different sides, or maybe a variety of perspectives, although mostly from pro-Trump people, on what happened here last week. And if you weren't tuned in earlier, these demonstrations have been going on here in Tujunga, right here along Foothill Boulevard, for several weeks now, maybe even 2 months or so, like the one Black Lives Matter guy said. And things escalated last week. Unfortunately, we weren't here to document it, but the riot squad came out last week and things didn't end so peacefully. And during this broadcast, I've been trying to get people's perspectives on what happened last week. Across the street, demonstrators are gone. When we went over there about an hour ago, something like that, maybe less, there was a church group standing on the sidewalk that appeared to be, if not pro-Trump, then definitely sympathetic toward Trump and Trump supporters. And then there were 2 Black Lives Matter demonstrators over there, one of whom I did an interview with, and he talked a lot about what's been happening here over the past couple months from his perspective.
Sit one down, ask one, they tell you what they know. Coronavirus is CCP bioweapon, all Chinese know.
If you can't understand, she's saying coronavirus is CCP bioweapon, all Chinese know. Yes, sir.
Tomorrow Chinese will be having another protest in the Chinese embassy in Los Angeles.
That protest is going to be over what specifically?
Or the reason for their
Yeah,
protest?
yeah.
They didn't say.
It's just a regular event that people protest outside the Chinese embassy. Oh, that's not the embassy, that's the consulate. But,
Consulate,
yeah.
consulate. Probably I will find out tomorrow.
Well,
But since you are
I expect to be at a Beverly Hills Trump rally tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. We've got a lot of moving parts and some things changed, so I don't know.
This weekend, a lot of protests going on, right?
All the time, a lot of protests going on. Weekend, you name it. This is a year of protests.
What was your YouTube channel?
Josh Friedman, JOSH space FRIEDMAN. Yeah, that one. And that's us right now. We're live. Oh no, that was this one right here. But that's my channel. That's my channel. Yeah.
We American voters, not only voting for the well-being of America, but for the
Oh, sorry guys. Someone's got an interesting question. Here we go. Maybe you can answer this question. A viewer is asking if the virus is going to go away by itself.
Will the virus go away by itself?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Usually when people say go away by itself, they're hold on a second. They're usually implying that the virus would go away without there being a vaccine or without there being some treatment that's introduced. You don't know? Okay. Maybe. I'll pose her the question.
Communist the hard way.
One more question from the audience that I think is an interesting question. Yes. Someone's asking, will the virus go away by itself? And usually when people ask that, they're implying that a vaccine or a treatment may or may not be needed.
I think we'll rely on the science and technology development to hopefully overcome this for us. Right now, I don't know. I don't know the answer of that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank
you.
Neither do I. Let's see what other comments and questions popped up.
Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father God. Thank you, Father God. Amen. Thank you.
Quite the crowd out here.
Responsibility. It's the responsibility of an American, of a responsible person, of a voter to know.
Kushner's testing plan? I haven't kept up with Kushner's testing plan. All lives matter sign. Anyway, moments ago I was recapping what we've garnered today about counter-protesters here this week and last week, and this week and last week there's quite the contrast. As you've heard already, There were some serious clashes here last week. This week, or today, we ran into two counter-protesters across the street who weren't very loud and definitely weren't agitating. And we had an interview with one of them. Can you hold the phone for a second?
Yes.
I've briefly got to respond to a few work messages, so Annabelle's going to hold the camera for a couple minutes.
Okay. Oh, do you want to promote your new channel on our channel?
Right now?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so if you guys are familiar with the Save the Children March that occurred last week in Hollywood, a lot of collective efforts were going on with different groups. Ours happens to be Break the Cycle, Save a Child. So we are actually organically putting everything together for more information on one single platform, because the marches are great, guys, but we really need to take the next step to actions and get plugged into really good vetted organizations that already have a great platform for us to actually move in ending trafficking. So if you guys want to go to our website, it's going to be up pretty soon, but for right now the Instagram is Break the Cycle, Save a Child under that banner, as well as Save the Kids Movement at Gmail if you have any questions for us.
Okay, and you will be in Beverly Hills tomorrow.
Yes, we're going to be, well, I'm going to be in Beverly Hills. I don't know if anybody else is, but yes, bring your questions and any concerns, and we'll try to get you plugged into your respective cities.
Okay, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Okay, guys, there will be another rally in Beverly Hills tomorrow. Let's see. What else? Okay, one woman said fuck you and the other guy said fuck you. Uh-oh. Okay, hello.
Don't listen to the left or the right. Fact check, foreign news yourself. Fact check, foreign news yourself.
Okay, yeah, Josh already did an interview with that lady. Yeah, she says the coronavirus or COVID SARS-2 is a bioweapon, as a lot of police officers are still here. No Antifa today, and we only met 2 Black Lives Matter supporters. But yeah, as you can see, still lots of police. Here's a banner. Okay, let's walk through here. Country music. Trump, Trump, Trump. Yeah, here you can buy some shirts. Yeah, let's just listen to some music. Yeah, so it doesn't look like that Antifa is going to show up. Where's Josh? Oh, there he is. Oh, he's on the phone. Okay. I don't know, there was another guy I want to interview, but he left, I think. Okay, they are talking to the police. We want to talk to a supervisor, but I think he was not allowed to give an interview. Let's see. Yes, here. Videotaper. Do you have something to share?
I have absolutely nothing to share. Get away from me.
Okay, so they don't have anything to share. They asked me to get away from them. Okay, I'm good. Hey, Magic Monkey, I'm good. Yeah, that guy was just putting his hand in front of the camera as I asked him if he has something to share. He said, no, I don't. And yeah. Okay, let's just check out the police. No, we haven't entered flu season, but everybody is wearing a mask. So yeah, as you can see here, lots of, not many, I would say maybe 60 protesters remaining. Oh. Yeah, apparently he wants to be private in public. Yeah, he's still on camera, that's okay. Because those are the only people who are left here. Maybe we go to the Chinese lady. She likes to talk. So yeah, we are here in the parking lot. Basically. See. And there are people playing music. Earlier, somebody told us that Antifa will show up later there where the PetSmart is, but I don't think so. Oh, I saw that guy earlier. Maybe I'm going to record him and ask him if he wants to pop on camera and wants to say what brought him out here today. Hey! Do you want to pop on and say what brings you out here today?
No, I don't.
Can I just record your Trump sign?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Yes, we got that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so it looks like this here. Here's police. There's a tent, and they're selling t-shirts over there. Earlier there were other protesters on that side, but it's empty. Oh yeah. And the PetSmart is here, but I don't think Antifa is going to show up here. But we will see. Oh. Yeah, earlier there was a lady in a wheelchair and she also told us, oh no, she told us we are a spy. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, it's really weird why the people come in public area and then they don't want to be filmed. Well, oh, that's what I can tell you. Tomorrow in Berlin there will be a massive protest in Berlin in Germany against the coronavirus dictatorship, how they call it. And the German Senate allowed them now to go out and protest, and they don't have to wear masks in Germany. So no mask mandate because they are worried that Antifa is going to show up. And they don't, I mean, the entire protest is against the coronavirus dictatorship. So Berlin wants to make a revolution about that. Hi.
Just like a tip, because I know so sidewalks, it's totally cool to film, but just so you don't get in trouble if no one says anything, because the parking lot is private property, so just so you just so you don't get in trouble, so you want to stay on the sidewalk. Just a tip. Yeah, because I've heard on public property you're totally cool, but I don't want you to get in trouble and stuff.
Sure.
What is the
What's going on?
What?
I was saying because so whenever you film and stuff, sidewalks is public
what's your
property.
thing again besides your name? Who do you guys work with?
Nobody.
No.
Independent.
So Josh works with Calco's News.
Okay.
Yeah, that's in San Luis Obispo, and he writes for them.
Oh, he does.
So if you
okay.
want to write that down, Calco's News.
Okay, no,
Yeah,
that's
but
fine.
yeah. So and sometimes he uses a live stream for.
There's no expectation of privacy.
Yeah, I'm not on social media very much.
Right.
However,
However,
something that I just came across with Underground Railroad. So,
they can ask us to step off
out there
of
and sell what was going on.
this parking lot area and onto
you
the
guys up
street,
here
but
all
there's
the
no
time?
expectation.
Not all the
By the way,
time. We were also
I don't
in
know if it's
Seattle
not
and in
clear
Portland.
Oh, you guys go all the way?
Yeah, and yesterday we were in San Luis Obispo.
Oh, so you guys travel all over?
Yes.
Conversation.
I mean, we are not in Washington D.C. right now, unfortunately, but
Okay, or Atlanta. There was a big bust out there, so that was in Utah.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's just
So you guys
if
go all
someone
over the
complains that you
place.
take a video of that.
Under your two names.
I understand, but there's legally there's no expectation of privacy right here.
Yeah. Just so you guys don't get in trouble.
okay. Hi. Okay.
I'll be back on in
All right.
30 seconds.
Yeah, big protest tomorrow. There was another protest in Berlin on August 2nd, I guess. And first the police said there were, I don't know, 20,000 people. Then the police said there were 800,000 people. Then they said there were 1.3 million people. And I guess tomorrow will be also over 100,000 of people in Berlin. So maybe you want to check that out. Just Google Berlin demonstration. They don't call it protest. They call it demonstration. Berlin protest tomorrow against the coronavirus dictatorship. Yeah, Berlin had enough. But you know, when the people demonstrate or protest in Germany, it's different. They actually have a real cause what they're after. They just don't want to have a lockdown anymore. They don't want to be forced to wear masks. They don't want that their children grew up going to school on Zoom, you know. They think it's really important that the children know facial expressions and are allowed to be close to each other, the whole thing. Yes, I am German. I am from Hamburg. Let's see. Hi. I'm taking over the camera now. Any questions? Hooray for Germany. I hope they get that done. But you know, the Chinese lady said that, you know, the coronavirus is a dangerous bioweapon, so we should wear masks. But I don't know, I can't breathe with masks because it's mostly 100 degrees here in Los Angeles and it's incredibly hot. So, oops, sorry. So I can't wear a mask. And I'm a healthy human being. Yeah, St. Pauli, that's where I went out as I was 16, 17, 18, and it was awesome. Awesome views over there. Now it changed a little bit because they're dealing with a lot of immigrants and they are mostly Muslim and they don't like when women dress up sexy and then they think they can just attack them. Okay, Josh is back. Yeah. Yeah, you know that Angela Merkel. Oh, okay, here, Josh. Now you can take over.
You can finish that thought.
No, Angela Merkel just left a lot of immigrants, and then the Germans don't like her. Yeah.
Okay,
That's enough.
That's your opinion. That's not my reporting. But she did welcome many migrants into Germany. Are we fully charged on this broadcast?
Yeah.
I mean, is the phone charged?
Yes.
I can pull it out. Mute. Okay, guys. What did I miss? Other than
that
a little
the one
arguing.
guy was attacking me. Oh no, he didn't
Someone
want to
was
be filmed. No, he didn't attack me. You know, he just put his hand in front of the camera.
Well, I was gonna bring it up at the end, but I guess might as well bring it up now. It seems like whether it's left or right, we run into people not respecting the right to film in public,
Maybe turn around and we have the police officers behind us.
not respecting the First Amendment and press freedom. I can understand though why they're suspicious of people, especially given what happened here last week. I can definitely understand that, but we're allowed to film here.
It's a protest.
Someone says free speech is dead. Well, not quite, but quite often over the past few months, I've found various aspects of the First Amendment being trampled on in various parts of the country. I'm scrolling through some of your comments, but it doesn't look like they're too oriented toward this protest or rally. Maybe now. I asked a lot earlier. Officer, is there a supervising officer present who could speak with the press?
The press?
Yes. Oh, over here?
Sure. The one with the dress? Yeah.
Right there.
Yes, 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 I do. Thank you very much. Things have calmed down here. We have someone. What does that sign say across the street? Something strong. Oh, Trump. Trump is strong. Is that an is? Trump. Trump. Oh, Trump PS Stinky. Trump Stinky. Okay, we got a counter protester across the street, I think. I guess that's a total of 3. Excuse me, officer. I was told that there's a supervising officer here who might be able to speak with the press.
One of these are the supervisors. The guys with the bars.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, like you say, they know they're not gonna.
Hi, officer. My name's Josh Friedman. I'm with Calcoast News, and I'm doing a YouTube live stream at the moment. Is there an officer who can speak with the press?
Sergeant right there.
Oh, Sergeant right here. Oh, thank you very much.
Oh, they say a lot of. I don't think any of us is that.
Let's see. Maybe we can get an interview.
It's just he said, she said, everyone's pointing the fingers. When you have that type of hostility.
He's sergeant's having a conversation with a couple people. Let's wait and see if we can speak with them.
School Car City and meet right here, School Car City. You know what? If Car City didn't like it, he can come up here. Oh, I'll be here then.
The numbers seem to be dwindling. Not that large of a crowd remains. We do have one, it appears we have one counter protester across the street. Not a scene that would typically bring out a line of officers and riot gear, but given what happened last week, I guess it's no surprise. As I wait for this sergeant, let's take a look at the chat. Joey, I'm trying. I'm going to try to speak with the sergeant.
Going next?
Possibly downtown. I don't know if there's any action there tonight, though.
You mean downtown, please?
I don't know. We need to figure out what's going on, if there's any action there.
Okay, I think there is something.
I'm sure the officers behind us know.
They won't tell us.
That's up to me to figure out, I guess.
They usually wouldn't tell you.
Can you check for any LA protest streams or Twitter action?
Fly to Washington. There's a lot of action over there right now.
Yeah, but there are how many people there on the scene covering it?
A lot.
How many reporters are here right now?
Just you.
And how many reporters are in Washington?
200 probably at least.
I'm filling my role.
No, there's a group that are actually in different spots. It's funny. I don't know what they're called. I've been watching the last few days. One is in Portland. The other one's in what is that city? The recent one, Kenosha.
Yes,
yeah, DC, and they all have it on the same screen. The small ones. And then they keep, I don't know what they're called.
They share several live streams.
I think they're Antifa. I think so. I think they're BLM.
They're.
Or they're mixed.
Wait, I want to speak with the sergeant.
They're connected to each other. They're all one group doing it.
There are live streamers all around the country in different cities, and right now, because this March on Washington is a very popular event, many live streamers are traveling from as far away as Seattle to Washington.
Right. So are you helping? Are you helping us to have Trump win? That's my question to you. Are you helping us to help Trump?
I'm out here documenting.
That's all you're doing?
I don't know whether it helps.
You're on no side?
I don't know whether it helps or hurt. Well, you can look at my channel.
Which side are you on? Tell me, which side are you on? You should be on some side.
I'm trying to get an interview with the sergeant.
I'm not violent. Which side
No,
are you
I
on?
don't. I literally, I've told people, I'm not voting.
You are not?
I'm not voting for, I'm not registered to vote, I'm not voting for president.
If you were registered to vote.
Look, I vote with my reporting, I vote with my dollars,
Right.
I vote with my flights, my travel, my feet,
Okay.
etc. I mean,
That's
those are
good
my
enough.
those are my contributions. Yes, Sergeant, my name is Josh Friedman. I report for Calcos News, and I'm doing a YouTube live stream at the moment. Would you be able to give a quick comment about LAPD's policing of the situation here? Sure. Could we step over maybe right to this side? Thank you very much.
Did he throw me under the bus?
Not as far as I know, but I see you guys maybe cracking some jokes, so I don't know what I missed.
I think he's throwing me under the bus.
I don't know what I missed on. You're Sergeant?
Yes, Sergeant Ingram.
Sergeant Ingram.
Yes, sir.
And which division are you with?
I'm a watch commander of Foothill Division.
Okay. Sergeant, can you speak to us a little bit about LAPD's policing of the rallies here in Tujunga, right here on Foothill Boulevard?
As far as what?
Well, let's start with last week. Can you run through what happened last week?
So this has been going on for several months now, since June. And each week we have more and more people come out from the Trump support side, and then we have counter-protesters that show up on the other side. Last week it escalated, and we basically got surrounded. We declared unlawful assembly because both sides were throwing rocks, bottles, projectiles at each other, including at us, and we dispersed everyone. No arrests were made during that. So this week we kind of ramped up the visual presence of the police department and took a more proactive posture and stance here. And it's been very peaceful, very, very quiet. It's actually a very good turnout. The counter-protesters didn't show up today, but I'm confident that if they did show up, it still would have been peaceful. We have a really good line of communication with those folks, the organizers from both sides, and we just want to make sure that everyone has their exercise their First Amendment right safely, peacefully, and at the end of the day, they go home and handle their Friday night.
Even with the counter-protester side, I think we both know that they tend to be quite anti-police.
Correct.
You have a strong line of communication with them?
Absolutely.
Last week, I was not here last week. You're saying that the counter-protesters were on the other side and the pro-Trump or Trump supporters were right here, and they were both throwing
at each other.
Objects at each other?
Yeah, so it started when someone on the counter-protester side threw an object on the Trump side, and then they both started throwing stuff back and forth. So at that point, our officers, we declared an unlawful assembly and dispersed everyone. We dispersed the Trump folks first, and then we dispersed the counter side after.
And some footage has emerged. I think there's footage of officers firing some sort of
less lethal projectile.
Less lethal projectile, sure. Could you explain what happened with that incident?
Well, it happened for a couple minutes. Officers were defending themselves from being attacked with projectiles, and they fired less lethal munitions at target-specific people that were throwing projectiles and doing violent things, violent acts on not only on officers but also on civilians. And as soon as we declared the unlawful assembly, it was fine. We set up our skirmish lines, and then it became peaceful.
Were those rubber bullets, foam projectiles? What was
a mixture of beanbag rounds and then foam rounds.
And do you know if any struck individuals?
There were several people that got struck. I don't know the number, but there were several people that got struck.
Do you know which side, or was it a mixture of both sides?
I don't know, sir.
Okay. Yeah, we get some people screaming at us as we're going by, but no, it's been very peaceful today.
It's great.
There's some criticism coming from the counter-protester side that I've seen online, of them saying that last week police were, in their words, protecting the pro-Trump side and were only focusing their attention on the counter-protester side. What would your response be to that?
Well, we take a neutral, unbiased stance, objective. But I will tell you, last week, the folks on the north side of the street here were not attacking us.
And that's the side we're on right now, the pro-Trump side. Yeah.
So when it comes down to it, officers are going to react as human beings and focus their attention on the people that are attacking them, and that happened to be on the south side. Now, we got completely surrounded. So at the end of the day, it was very, very fearful, and we don't know where they were coming from. But I was here in the middle of the street talking to the organizer on both sides, that side, this side, trying to establish law and order, trying to establish peace. having very good conversations with them, and unfortunately, it was out of their hands too. So, we tried to squash things as best as we could without having to use force. Take care. But at the end of the day, we can't control everyone. I don't know if we have kids. I have kids, and sometimes I can't control the kids. So, we do our best, and that's what we do.
But you're saying that there were individuals attacking officers on the counter-protester side, but not on this side,
Correct.
the pro-Trump side.
Yeah, I didn't see anyone on this Trump side or pro-Trump side, whatever we want to call it, attacking officers. That's what I've seen.
What about in weeks past? Were there clashes
between
right here between the pro-Trump side and the counter-protesters?
Yes.
Prior to last week.
Yes. Fist fights and that kind of stuff.
Do you see the tension subsiding now, or are you expecting to have to bring out the officers in riot gear on a weekly basis?
They actually don't have riot gear on. They have helmets on. They use these helmets to respond to armed calls for service, or somewhere there's an active shooter or something. So I just want to get that out there. They're not in riot gear. They have a helmet on. But they don't have tactical vests on. They don't have pads on. They don't have big shields out here. That's riot gear. So they're out here with helmets on because last week there were rocks that were being projected at us. There were bricks. There were pipes. There were all kinds of dangerous weapons that were being thrown at us. So the last thing I wanted to have is a police officer or anyone, you or anyone on this side or that side, that gets hit in the head and is now dead or seriously injured because someone decided to throw a rock, pick up a rock from the grass over there and throw it over here. So at my direction, they have helmets on to protect themselves from any projectiles, and that's pretty much it. We can take a different approach, which is what we did a couple weeks ago, and not have any officers here. But what did that do? It basically allowed both sides to get in a little brawl in the middle of the street. We can't have that either. So we're trying to find a happy medium with the folks on the north side, the folks on the south side, to see exactly what our approach can be and what our strategies are. It's an ongoing thing. We're learning every single week because it changes. The tactics change.
Do you think that having the officers here today, and I based on what I'm hearing from you, it sounded like you let the opposing side know that you would have their presence here today ahead of time.
Yes.
Do you think that's a deterrent toward them coming out here?
No.
Or not? Or did they not show up for different reasons?
They reached out to us, and we have a really good line of communication with them. We've had meetings all week with them, and they basically decided because of the melee last week that they weren't going to participate this week because of what happened. So the organizers from ABRA, from BLM, they're very, very easy to talk to, and we have a very good relationship with them. And they basically said, hey, we're not going to be there. We're not going to, submit to the nonsense again. Maybe we'll be there next week, but we're not going to come today. I actually met with one of the organizers today for a couple hours. He showed up, and it was great. It was a great
One of the organizers from which group?
From the opposing side. I'm not going to give his name.
Well, all right, but you did just say ABRA, which is a local group.
Yes,
and
he's not from ABRA.
And BLM likewise. So, all right, I understand now. That was going to be my next question. That you are speaking with members of actual groups that come out here.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and that's the biggest thing is we got to establish relationships with folks, on both sides, and just let them know that our job is to be here to protect them.
Do you,
to peacefully assemble and exercise their First Amendment right.
Do you know if instigators on that side last week were members of ABRA or BLM, or
I don't think they were. And that's just based on my experience and my observation.
Did they have affiliation with any other group?
I don't know, but I do know that the organizers from ABRA and BLM were trying tirelessly to help us by controlling that side and those agitators, and they just couldn't do it. For example, some members of I don't know if it was ABRA or BLM, they put up cones on their own. They put up caution tape to keep everyone on the side so they didn't get hurt by a car. And as soon as they did that, someone came up with a helmet on, a backpack, tactical vest. I don't know who he was, and he ripped it all down and was starting to stir up the pot, if you want to lack a better term.
Granted, it's a very decentralized group, and maybe even calling it a group is not the correct term, but they're Antifa, for instance. And are you aware of Antifa presence here?
Yes.
Last week?
Yes.
And were instigators, do you believe they were part of Antifa?
I don't know because I didn't identify them.
Okay.
Without someone telling me they're Antifa, I have no way to identify them. And at my level, I'm not getting in the mix with the line level. You know, I'm kind of overseeing the operations, so I'm talking directly to the organizers. And one of the organizers is not with Antifa, so I don't know who they work for.
Anything else you'd like to add about the situation?
I just want to say thanks for being out here and covering this. It's awesome to see an independent journalist.
I report for Cal Coast News, and I'm live streaming on my YouTube channel.
So
right
thank
now.
you for coming out here and you know, and covering this, and we appreciate it. And hopefully you got what you want.
Yeah, thank you very much for answering the questions.
No problem. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, good luck to you guys.
Yeah,
Take care.
this is Officer Ingram.
Sergeant Ingram.
Sergeant Ingram. I apologize.
All right, take care, guys. Be safe, okay?
Okay, that was Sergeant Ingram, and he had a lot to say. So thank you very much to Sergeant Ingram for giving us time and answering the questions. Actually, I need to plug back in. And ABRA, by the way, I forget what it's an acronym for, but ABRA is... Oh, yeah, where? Sorry, I'm searching for the cable. I don't know. Oh, it's in my pocket. ABRA is a local group. I'm not super familiar with it. You can Google it, and they're on Twitter, but I believe they're something along the lines of a group here in the Crescenta Valley area that counters fascists and maybe right-wingers. I need to look into them, but I know they've been active out here. And the officers, you too, officers now taking off. So from Sergeant Ingram, I learned some things I was surprised to hear. I wasn't expecting to hear that LAPD is in close contact with local BLM and local ABRA. Can you pull it up? Where's the phone? Let's pull it up on Twitter. They've got a Twitter account. I forget what ABRA is an acronym for. I'm gonna pull this up so I can give you guys the proper name of ABRA. But it sounds like Sergeant Ingram is, there we go, ABRA. ABRA stands for Against Bigotry Responding with Action. And they have a local ABRA foothills group in the Sunland and Tujunga area. And that's where we are right now. We're in Tujunga. So that's ABRA, ABRA. And on their Twitter feed, it says hashtag Black Lives Matter. So it sounds like the officers here have made it clear that on the counter-protester side, which is right over there, local Black Lives Matter has been active, local ABRA has been active, and local Antifa has been active. And if I were to read between the lines from my interview with Sergeant Ingram, it sounds like LAPD is somewhat pointing the blame at Antifa and not at ABRA and not at BLM, although it's unclear who exactly the individual instigators were last week. All right, let's take a little walk just to show what's left of the demonstration, which is basically nothing at this point, so I can bring Annabelle back on and we can wrap up the stream. Although there's one person across the street with a Trump PS Stinky, or is it Trump is Stinky? I'm not sure which, but it looks like a counter protester. And I'd be glad to conduct an interview, but that's about a 5 to 10 minute walk. One includes waiting for the traffic light to turn and looping back around there. So we're gonna skip out on that interview because I've already interviewed someone on that side and we don't have a direct path across the street. Annabelle,
Yes, I'm here.
let's wrap this up. Your thoughts on what you saw today.
So there were mostly Trump supporters on one side, about 100, I would say.
He's upset because we don't have the window.
3 counter protesters, 2 left already, and yeah, as Josh said, this is the last guy left. What I experienced today.
Although wait, now there's some action over at In-N-Out. What's going on at In-N-Out? We'll monitor and give you a shot at what's going on in In-N-Out as we continue on. So let's just hold phone right here and keep going, Annabelle.
Okay, so yeah, I encountered a lot of people who didn't want to be filmed, and I mostly, that was from the BLM side in my experience, but yeah, here were a lot of people who told me not to film, I'm not allowed to film. One of them put their hand in front of my lens, so yeah.
Likewise, I encountered some of those sentiments. As soon as I arrived here, there was someone trying very hard to dissuade me from filming, being quite aggressive about that. I think he later on apologized for that.
Yeah,
So I guess the apology was nice.
Yeah,
But what is
they
going
said
on here?
that we are either spies or...
I have nothing to do with any of this shit.
I know. We're here to protect everyone's business. You have your own rights.
I know. To go talk to the manager who I normally shop with, not this guy.
I don't know what's going on here.
Headquarters is too small. Oh, okay. You can put on the nice tone, but you're the one being the dick there.
Would you mind explaining, Sergeant Ingram, really quickly what's happening at the In-N-Out?
In-N-Out closed their walk-up window, about 4 or 5 hours ago to prevent people from blocking the driveway, which is what happened last week. So they're willing to shut down their business, half of their business, which is their walk-up service, in order to make it a more peaceful protest for everyone, which is very honorable for them to do. And according to the In-N-Out manager, he's the regional manager, so he has several In-N-Outs all over Southern California that he manages. He told this gentleman who was at the window to leave, and he didn't want to leave, so he's creating a problem. So we just went over, asked him to leave, and as you can see, he left.
What, do you know if it has anything to do with politics, or he's just frustrated
he just
about
wants
the...
his burger.
Okay.
He doesn't want to wait in the line in the drive-thru.
And then there is a bit of a traffic pileup.
There is a very big.
Okay.
So hopefully once we get the street open, it's all back to normal.
Okay. Thank you very much again, Sergeant Ingram.
Good luck to you guys.
Thank you. That's much ado about nothing, maybe. Okay.
Yeah, so the protesters called us spies, they called us Antifa.
Well, to use the correct terminology, they weren't necessarily protesters. They were having a rally. They were Trump supporters, I guess.
The Trump supporters who lined up here today. There was one lady in a wheelchair, she called us spies.
Yeah, she was filming us and we were filming her. I guess all I've got to say about that is so be it. But no, I already made the point that the pressure being applied on the First Amendment is...
Sorry.
Yeah, I really struggle with your zoom feature as well. I don't think people like my eyes that much. Yeah, it's pressure being applied on the First Amendment is not solely coming from the left. It's also coming from the right. But what I would like to say is that I'm very pleased that today, even though the counter-protester crowd was not there, other than 2, I guess 3 people now when you include the one man out. No, let's walk. Maybe we can... No, I just want to wrap up the stream. I don't want to bother to walk over there and get an interview with him. I was very pleased, despite there not being a counter-protester crowd today, I was pleased that we were able to get comment and interviews with lots of people on the Trump side. We were able to walk across the street and determine that indeed there were counter-protesters when it didn't look like there were any. Granted, there weren't many. At the time, there were just 2. And I guess now there's 1 more, it appears. But we were able to get a long interview with one of the counter-protesters, giving his perspective and his thoughts on what's been happening here, right here for that matter, over the past 2 months. And then Sergeant Ingram, is he in the Foothill Division? I forget, but stop playing around with it. Is it the Foothill Division? I forget. But anyway, Sergeant Ingram of LAPD graciously answered all our questions and really went into detail about what policing actions happened, specifically what happened last week, what munitions were fired, and who LAPD's been able to pinpoint as far as the instigating that's been going on. And some guy just flashing lights at us. And also which groups LAPD is in contact with. And I found that to be quite interesting, that LAPD is in contact with the local BLM group.
So they want to stop us filming?
No, they're not. I don't know what the guy's doing. LAPD's... Okay, now they are... Yeah, this is intentional. Someone's screaming, "Go the fuck home." All right. So once again, some people here are very respectful, even appreciative. Some people want to give interviews, and some people here on the Trump side are not so respectful of the First Amendment and the right of the press to be here filming in public. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. The feed cut out just momentarily. As I was saying, some people here on the Trump side, I would say many people on the Trump side are being very respectful. Many of whom are giving interviews, having conversations with us, and then some people, I presume, like this man driving the truck who's flashing the lights directly at the camera to try to prevent us from filming as someone screams out, "Go the fuck home." Some people are not being so respectful of the First Amendment and the right of the press, or anyone for that matter, to film in public. Nonetheless, I'm very grateful that, as I said, we came out here, we got comments from all sides. We got comment from the pro-Trump side, we got comment from the BLM side, as small as it was today, and we got comment from the police. And I think now if someone watched the broadcast in totality, even though unfortunately we weren't here last week and we haven't been here over the past couple months, I think this gives viewers a better perspective of what's going on here in Tujunga, specifically on Friday afternoons and evenings on Foothill Boulevard by Lowell Avenue and right outside In-N-Out Burger. Any final comments, Annabelle?
Any final comments? I think these people just waited until the police is gone, and now, they want to bully us a little bit.
So if that's the case, then I guess we'll just keep the stream on as we walk on out of here. So be it. This is the truck that was shining lights at us. Why? I don't know why.
Oh yeah, and that man.
Oh, now it seems like this truck might
Oh, they're following us.
follow. Oh, there go the lights again. So yeah, as soon as LAPD leaves, this truck is flashing lights directly at us. So we're gonna keep this stream on. I was ready to end the stream, but as we walk, we're going to keep the stream on. G-Boy is saying, Josh, do not forget there are a lot of anti-Semites out there. That may or may not be the case. There are also Jews. There were Jews in the crowd today on the Trump side. People holding I saw a Jews for Trump flag or sign, and multiple people saying they're Jewish. Stand there and defend the... Look, I'm not... Regarding to someone saying stand there and defend the First Amendment, I'm not here to antagonize. I'm not here to just get in a fight with someone. If I'm in the middle of reporting news, then I'm going to try to stand my ground to the best of my ability.
Oh, that was the lady who called us spy.
Whatever. So it's kind of laughable. There are a lot of members of this crowd who seem to be very happy to speak to us, and there are quite a few members of this crowd who maybe I shouldn't say quite a few, but there's some members of this crowd who have been trying to run us on out of here. Probably just a handful. And then there have been some in between. Some with whom we had some healthy debate over where we can and cannot film.
Maybe go anders light and just wrap it up.
Why? Let's just...
Oh, it's...
We're about to head out of here. Thank you, G-Boy. Actually, as we prepare to just get out of here, I will take a look at your comments. No, we're not both German. I am not German. Tertiary, I always want to laugh or feel like I'm getting trolled when I say your name. Tertiary's saying that, what was he saying? Inverted, what'd you call it? It was an interesting comment. We're headed for inverted totalitarianism. It's an interesting way to put it. There's definitely pressure being applied on the Constitution, Bill of Rights, civil liberties from a lot of different angles. Why don't you get in?
Okay. Tschüss!
I'm not done. Joey, you know what Annabelle pointed out? Not that I go running to the police when someone harasses me, but what Annabelle pointed out, which I wasn't thinking of at first, is that the person in the truck started flashing those lights, bright lights, directly at us, and someone started screaming, "Get the fuck out of here," or something along those lines. They started doing that right after the police left. So the police are already on out of here. And Annabelle pointed out that harassment started right after the police left. And she's correct. Not that I'd go running to the police anyway. Nonetheless, we're now in the car and about to head on out of here. Why don't you hold this and say choose?
Choose?
Or no, you know what? Just leave it on for just in case getting out of here is problematic. Just leave it on for a minute as we drive on out of here.
Not that they are following us.
Let's hope not.
I don't think so. I would just think that they were just waiting until the police leaves and then they can bully us a little bit.
Just keep it on until after we turn away from this light ahead. Then
Okay.
Lots of traffic at In-N-Out. That was kind of funny. And I guess
Oh, sorry.
it goes to show that Sergeant Ingram was very friendly and made himself very available with the press. Granted, there weren't a whole lot of press out there. Pretty much us. That's it. Given that he even explains the In-N-Out situation to us. Usually police aren't explaining some minor little arguments like that at a protest to me. Often I don't get any comment whatsoever from the police. More often than not, actually.
Yeah, but he explained this entire situation, what happened last week, and that they are not wearing riot gear actually. They are just having helmets on.
Yeah, I guess by LAPD definition, that's not riot gear. I get his point, but I think in the eye of the public, I would say a lot of people would view that as riot gear, but I'm not gonna, semantics, I'm not gonna argue over it. Anyway, we can wrap up the stream now. Let's figure out, I guess I'm talking to Annabelle here, let's figure out if anything's going on downtown LA, that is. I guess we just crossed the line from Glendale from LA to Glendale. I guess we're in the city of Glendale right now, but maybe there's some action downtown Los Angeles tonight if we have the energy for that. Maybe not. Probably there will be action in Beverly Hills tomorrow, though we need to confirm that. Anyway, as for now, just stay tuned to the channel. We will be live and on the ground in the Los Angeles area, at least for now. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you in an upcoming broadcast. Thanks a lot for tuning in and for participating, and goodbye, I guess, from Glendale at the moment. Cheers.
Cheers.